Check. All right, we're in the pre-show.
Rolling.
Check.
Check. Oh, already.
All right, we're in the pre-show.
Pause that.
Rolling.
Check. Oh. Pause that.
Rolling. Check. All right, we're in the pre-show.
What's that?
Rolling.
Check. Oh, that's party.
All right, we're in the pre-show.
Pause that.
Rolling.
Check. Oh. Maybe that. Oh. Pause that.
Rolling. Check. All right, we're in the pre-show.
What's that?
Rolling.
Check. Oh. That's party.
All right, we're in the pre-show.
Oh, I know what that is. What's that?
Roll.
That one. All right. There's so many of them. All right. How's our countdown? We're at 2 minutes to go. Where's that test? I feel like that didn't make it. Oh, maybe I never typed it in. Test. Come on. All right, I think we got it. Restream. About a minute left. Got about a minute left. Then we'll get this show on the road. I think I am most of the lurkers. About 14 seconds left. That was abrupt.
Welcome to the 9dNation.
בראשית ברא אלוהים את השמיים ואת הארץ.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Thousands of years later, it was Wednesday at 11 p.m. Central. Get your passport ready and be prepared to declare to the customs agents any edible plants or miscellaneous worldviews. You're now crossing into the nation with no denomination.
Oh, let's turn off that countdown. Got to figure out something better for that. Turn that down a bit. Welcome. I'm your host, G. Ross. We're simulcast tonight, as we are most Wednesdays, on Facebook, YouTube, DLive, and the Foxhole. Call-ins are automatically welcome. This is 9dNation. You're in the nation with no denomination. I've been looking forward to this show so much that I almost did this show on Sunday. Like I had it all loaded and everything. So we have 2 seasons planned for this show. First, this season It's our Facebook lookbacks. Then when that's done, there's going to be a really long season 2. That's going to be Bible study from the beginning. The Bereshit Barei Elohim et Hashemayim vu et haaretz. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So for season 1 so far, we've covered my Facebook posts that seem, let's just say, oddly relevant from April 2009 through June 2010. Then in episode 2, we covered June 2010 to April 2011. Current estimates, therefore, puts it at about 12 or 15 total, so allow 11 more, let's say, until we go to season 2, which is the Bible study, the long-promised Bible study. So for tonight, and I've preloaded this a different way. Let's get going on that. We're going to be greeted by Willie. Let's go take a look at our chat. Bill Tech, hello. All right. Now let's go straight into... So why this? This was just on my Facebook. I don't remember where this was, but it was April 9th, 2011. Little throat noise there. All right, moving on. That was a close-up, so. Got my fortune from Willie. You can't beat that. I can't remember what it said. I don't even know if I put any money in there. So now we're going into April 25th, 2011. So a way I've noticed about these InfoWars links is InfoWars is still active, but the headline title, the way they have it, it's not, it'll just take you to their front page. So we won't go there. But what I put in my notes is it's an old link, but it's a good headline. Investigation. Government ordered cell phone companies to spy on users. Just remember, this is 2011. We already knew it long before that, but we're pointing it out. I was on Facebook, at least a little. Timid. I just said a good essay, a set of interesting info. Anyway, we'll move on. Next up, we have Big Boo Tay, April 25th. Why would I include that on this show? I think Buckaroo Banzai Across the 9th Dimension, or whatever it was called, it's got Peter Weller in it. That guy was in RoboCop, normalizing the idea of a robotic, police force. This movie's probably got some disclosure, so just saying. Let's move along. On May 5th, I selected all. I couldn't pass that up. Let's go to May 8th. Just a funny photo. I'm walking along and I see that. It just looked like a crime scene photo to me. There was a toddler or a pre-toddler running around doing who knows what. Toddling. Let's see. Is there a way to see? There I am. Just want to see the chat over there. How is Facebook doing? Are those videos working? I don't even see. I don't think Facebook is streaming. Give me just 1 second to check that. Maybe I'll turn it on here. Let's go look at Facebook. Sending data. Blue. Done. Online. All right, so it's kind of streaming now. Let's see if it's actually showing up over there. Yeah, I don't get it. I struggle with Facebook. Let me look in this manner. Yeah, what an abysmal nightmare. I can go live. All right, whatever. Facebook, you're dead to me. I'm still looking. All right, fine. I give up. Closing Facebook. How's my D-Lives doing? Hello, Drixman and Tony1420. Yeah, I got to remember to look at the D-Live chat more often, don't I? All right, back to the task at hand. So we're moving on past Bird Big and Grover, G. Rover. On May 9th, I will now start a war on bugs. This is grotesque. Let me see what did I really care about there. Oh yeah, right. This is a link. Can I go to it from there? Yeah. Swedish insect shoots larvae into victim's eyes. Disgusting. That's probably enough of that. I probably had a way when I was putting this together to tie it into the deep state and all the horribleness and the fear porn and whatever. I mean, it's disgusting, right? Myanmar shaves. What is my point here? Oh, wait, no. Yeah. Wait. I guess I didn't open that tab. So Myanmar shaves. Here the point is it's Burma. You know, they always change the name so that you can be in the in group. Like, do you know to pronounce Myanmar now? I mean, it's the same word, right? If you really listen to it. Burma. Myanmar. Let's say they're saying Myanmar and you're a British freak show and you're trying to go. By the way, when I say British, all right, side note. It's kind of making the rounds. It's totally true. You know it, you forget it. You know it, you forget it. British. Just look that up. Like British. And I'm talking about those who claim they are but are not. I'm not talking about the real people that are important. I'm talking about the ones who claim they are and hide behind anyone who is the British, the man of Bris, the ones that pretend. You know what I'm saying. Anyway, so you're one of those. You're just. The point is, what's your country called? Myanmar. Burma. You know, it's that classic Ellis Island, wrong last name, right down thing. Anyway, I've belabored this way too much, but that's what. So I just put Burma shaves, essentially, just to try to troll in my minimalist time way. Let's go to May 13th, ABC News. Yeah, this one's... I gotta click on this. Sad. Mom gives Botox to 8-year-old daughter. How young is too young? So I said, this is clumsy, but let me try. So remember, this is 2011, 11 years ago. We must all know this is happening. We must help our society back off this path. I know we don't all do this, but we move as a pack with wing-tail fringe people, and they need to know this is frowned upon more certainly than they clearly do now. Now, who knows? I mean, I just was reacting. I was like, come on, people. I was trying to agitate, trying to be an activist, I guess. Who knows? Anyway, that was that day. All right, let's move forward. Now we're on May 17th, 2011. Health Freedom Network. Big Brother, 1-year undercover operation to bust Amish farmer for raw milk. I mean, it's a dead link, but it's a good headline. Let's go to May 18th. Just zooming through the year. Isn't it better to ask why until you get a solid answer, even if it takes your whole lifetime, as opposed to learning to not ask the question? You know, Craig Mason on Reasonable TV talks about the indoctrination process of school and just like you're just getting hammered. Owen Benjamin went through this. I've watched him a lot back in the day. You know, just conform. Don't ask questions. Eat your bug. Stay in your lane. Conform. Right, you know how it goes. Then I said on May 23rd, let's see, it's better than that. Shake your worldview. Now, there. Wasn't that fun? I don't know. I was 42. Maybe I was kind of sleepless because I had a young kid, like a brand new kid. I don't know. It's not that good, but at least I posted it. Then we go to, okay, so here's, I full disclosure, my living room used to look like this, or my dining room. I'm clearly Illuminati. I mean, look at that floor. Look at that. Those are comic book boxes back there. I'm inspired to pause and kind of scroll through the chats and check how things are going. Let's do that. Oh, by the way, I kind of snuck and debuted them but we've got animations if certain things happen. Not saying. Anyway, had to click on your tab screen left to stop. Oh, Two Rivers. Good tip. Your tab screen left. Not really. You can ignore the DLive chat. Serves them right for being on the left channel. Good point, Two Rivers. Burma now calling it Myanmar. British. Graham said, I'm not British. I'm English. Just passing by. Two Rivers. Thank you. Talk to you later. Good deal. Let's peek around and see what else is going down. Oh, yeah. Cool. I am going to look at DLive. You know I I was told not to, and I kind of agree. But let's just go say hi. Man, not a lot of action over there. So I'm clearly Illuminati, right? Like, sorry. I've got the... No, in my defense, I think I even wrote a note about this. I really should stick to my show notes a little bit. Where's my show notes? Show notes, where art thou? We had been told actively by people, articles, news things, toy sellers, whatever, that developing infants should have some of these stark black and white patterns in their toys, by the way. And if you notice, go over to the 2, 1, 0-year-old, go to the infant toys. I think every time I go over there, I mean, I don't have any. The youngest I have is 11. The youngest I... what's the word? Assist, cultivate, pin into a small house, and let him run free and crazy. You still see these toys where it'll be like red, blue, primary colors, but this zebra Illuminati stuff. I'm just saying, not saying, just saying. All right, let's go to June 1, 2011. But I was young, I needed the money, June, let's see, what do we got going on here? Let's see if I need to load this. Yeah, I'll click on it, why not? I'll see what's going on here. Rohrbacher's planned congressional invasion into massacre at Camp Ashraf. I don't remember this. I still showed it to you because... What was my reasoning? I wrote it down. So... Okay, one thing I did see... Okay, so when I traveled over to, like, in Syria and places like that, and in Jordan, you'd see pasted on the walls of, like... those, like, sidewalk walls that kind of are dividers. You'd see, like, just like you'd put Lost Cast posters up, you'd see, like, pictures of babies gassed or, kids burned and all kinds of stuff. And it was, like, printed out on an inkjet printer with a picture, and it would have a written description, of how horrible America was, what America did, all these other things. So, I kind of see that article, and I'm like, yeah, Ashraf, there was a massacre, like, guns got loose, people got crazy. I don't even remember the details. But in war, both sides should be trying to say the other side is evil. How else would it work, right? So, I don't know. I just wanted to include that post when I saw it, when I came across it. I have a whole different view these days. I mean, defending the homeland, obvious, right? Whenever there's a clear intrusion. Assisting allies, sure. Who made the agreement? Who made the ally agreement? And then you get into these long-term police actions. It's easy to say right now that they were wrong. 20-some-odd years in Afghanistan. Not that the troops were fantastic, right? But anyway, you know the drill. We all say it over and over again. So anyway, I don't know. Let me move on. Target is ready for to be cut. If you know, you know. If you don't know, okay. So if you're watching on DLive, you might know why I am mentioning corn. If you're on Foxhole, you almost certainly know that I'm thinking about Cormy. Ready for to be cut. If you're on Facebook and YouTube and you're like, what is he talking about? Ready for to be cut. Here's what I want you to know. There's an entire community of people right now listening to me or listening to this playback that know what I'm talking about. I'm not being coy. I simply can't talk about it on Facebook or YouTube. Not overtly. Is it a shibboleth test? Is it a dog whistle? Is it an inside thing? No, you're totally invited. But you're going to have to come over to maybe DLive, certainly Foxhole. Just saying, private message me. What do you mean by the corn at Target? I didn't mean it then when I posted it. It's just that at Target, we had a giant corn, and this was June 2, and it reminded me of something. Cormy, ready for to be cut. If you know, you know. I'm sorry to be that way, but those who know, know. And ask me. Ask a friend. Ask a friend who's on Foxhole. How do I get to Foxhole? Thefoxhole.app. Or DLive, but mostly Foxhole. All right, let's go to how can you defeat that which you cannot isolate, which I posted on June 8th, 2011. Obviously here, I'm trying to say to people, they want you divided. That's another reference, right? Who says they want you divided? Well, we all say it. Divide and conquer. It's like a ancient war strategy, right? All right, moving on. Next up is June 9th, afternoon perusings. Let me remind myself what this was. Let's see, June 9th. This is when, oh, this is fantastic. All right, before I dig into this one, let me just scan the chats and see how things are doing. Always welcome to call in. Am I actually displaying the call-in Discord information like I hope? Let me check. Let me see if I actually really am. Yes, I really am. All right, looks like, let's check YouTube chat. Looking good. DLive chat. DLive only now. Oh, that's my old comment. Let's check the good. And let's kind of see. Interesting. Okay. So here we've got, okay, I got to click on this. The potential climatic impacts and reliability of very large-scale wind farms. What? I thought it was free, perfect energy. Well, we know last year how they couldn't keep them running in Texas because they didn't plan accordingly. I mean, it's not the technology's fault per se, but it didn't work out, right? But what I was pointing out here, and let me go to my notes. So it says down in here, using wind turbines to meet 10% or more of global energy demand in 2100. Let me find you that section. Let me zoom in. Here's their findings. Using wind turbines to meet 10% or more of global energy demand in 2100 could cause surface warming exceeding 1 Celsius, like 2 Fahrenheit, over land installations. So the solution to global warming is these giant windmills, which cause surface warming of 1 C. I mean, if you did the whole thing with wind, it'd be 10 C. We're told that would kill everyone. Now, I don't know if it's just a strip of land or whatever, but seriously, it's an environmental impact. It ain't free. Just saying. Anyway, that was something I was rattling on about in 2011. Then we go to June 9. Wonders, would an exile proposal for Socrates been a win-win for his claim and for the Greek government's desire? So here I was pondering the obvious, like, they killed Socrates. Oh, it's very important. They have to teach you. They killed Socrates, They killed Socrates, Don't you know? Did you? You're a favorite at cocktail parties. Did you know they killed Socrates for corrupting the youth, for teaching them to think for themselves? How dare? We're so much better now, right? I mean, no, they didn't kill. Okay, I'm not a historical expert. I would like to invite someone to kind of succinctly show how we know they killed Socrates, or that Socrates was a real person. I mean, Francis Bacon wrote Shakespeare, right? I'm not saying that's true. I'm just saying casually, that's probably true, that it was a committee. There's no Francis Bacon. There's no Shakespeare. It's a committee. It's like a bunch of little devils in a circle writing that crap. So Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, I mean, those are all, I don't want to get too far into it because, we could attack my claims about the Bible, but just saying, they didn't kill him for just being a good teacher and teaching the kids to think for themselves, because they would have just exiled, I think. I don't know. I just don't buy it. There's something fishy. That's what I was trying to say 11 years ago on Facebook. At least that's what I think when I see that, because I've often thought that. Next up, and let me at least say I'm questioning the narrative, right? At least that, right? Next up, this is kind of Creepy. There's a comic book called Foreskin Man, and you can see the title was Large Monster Mole, Yarrick, and Jorah. So it's Foreskin Man versus the Monster Mole. That link is dead, but I did manage to find proof that I'm not making this up. Let me take you there. Let me do it. I know. It's creeptacular. So Foreskin Man versus the Monster Mole. There's proof. Just saying. All right, we'll move on. I didn't write it. And I even said there's sigh. Like, I'm not. Okay, there's a thing called baby Jesus theft. Let's click on it. Little baby Jesus, little plastic baby Jesus out front of the church. So obviously people steal, horrible teens. Not that I've ever been one of those. But there's a wiki article entry for it. I just thought that was kind of funny. 11 years ago, I thought that was funny. Let me scan the chats, see how we're doing. Turevas. Let's go back to D-Live and the YouTubes. Very nice. Is anybody watching on YouTube? It's so hard to tell, and I won't check real time. I'll check later. All right. Oh, and let me check kind of. Yeah, we're looking good there. All right. All is good. 11:22 and all is well. So now we're going to go to we're all now mini critics of everything via statuses on Facebook. We're mini critics of our friends' statuses via comments. And we're mini critics, not many, but miniature critics of our friends' commentary on a critique of their statuses by the way of the like button. This was all kind of new 11 years ago. This is the mind control that is Facebook, but it's not all bad, right? Like, they had to start anti-ratioing on YouTube, like removing the likes, now removing the dislikes. So clearly the masses can use what was intended as LifeLog, CI, or DARPA, Facebook mind control tool and data collection tool. The people found a way, right, on social media. And then they had to start tweaking it, and now we have independent social media like the foxhole.app. Little plug there. All right, now let's move on to this statement where I said, I think we're so meta and sophisticated in our entertainment lately that simplistic vaudevillian style entertainment and simple delight like circus shows is about to make a bounce back. I don't remember why I said that, but I must have been somewhat wrong because the circus is now gone. Just gone. Remind me to tell you I have a story about a local circus. It's kind of creepy, but tonight's not the night. Or certainly now isn't the time. Then I move to June 16th, 2011. Do we sometimes these days ask a question in conversation that we answer right after that? Yes. Is it really annoying? Yes. Can we revert back to some normal way of talking? Probably not. I don't know how long that had been going on, but news channels certainly do that. Am I critical of the Republicans? Yes. But do I believe everything they say? No. But, it's like it's a form of conversation control. I do it. It's cheap. It's easy, but I don't like it. Then let's go to June 16th. Could we initially have called it W? Like w.google.com? Save 2/3 of all the W's ever typed? Okay. I posted that on June 16, 2011. I don't know why I posted it, just to be an annoying butthead. But now, knowing what I know, they need you typing 3 sideways 3s dot. And you don't type it that often. You just type google.com. But the point is, it's a spell. Over and over again, you're going www, World Wide Web. You're caught in the World Wide Web. I don't know. Onto something? Surely, you're not afraid of a little boom boom. This is from June 21. I'm going to play a chat game. Who knows what movie that's from? I'll say it one more time. Surely you're not afraid of a little boom boom. If nobody ever gets it, put it in a comment somewhere. Whoever gets it first, I'll do some kind of pin or something. I'll send you some. Well, that's could be. We'll toast a boom boom together over chat. How's that? Name that movie. Then I went on to and said, really, Facebook? I will be safer if I hand you my cell phone number? That must have been the first time Facebook said, you know, you should hand us your cell phone number. June 28th, 2011. All right. By the way, I'm sure they got it anyway. They kind of showed it to me later and said, is this your cell phone number? Because, you know, we're trying to help you. And I never told them that it was. And then they're like, oh, this is your cell phone number. You have to use it to log in now. July 1, 2011. Let's see, do I have that up yet? Here we go. July 1, 2000. Oh, let me close that. July 1, 2011. Stare decisis. I'll bet you anything. I was annoyed with some kind of something in the news, and I was probably listening to Mark Levin, and it was probably smart. What is stare decisis? It's precedent. Okay. You know, let's argue about precedent for a second. You can have a precedent that's unconstitutional that ravages the nation for decades, right? I mean, but maybe it means, here it says common law, you know, so like 500 years of English common law or British common law. I don't know. We'll move on. Ooh, this one's fun. Let me get my notes. Stare decisis. So let me click on this. Let me zoom in. I went and grabbed unemployment numbers and government spending numbers, just cold from two completely different places. Charted them up. You can see the correlation, right? I think the pink is government spending. Yeah, and the blue is unemployment rate or totals. Well, turns out you can interpret this one of two ways. And if you look really closely at, like, here's the government spending, I think that leads, right? See, it leads. See how it's kind of ahead. Everywhere I look, you know, when you get a clarity of one ahead of the other, it's kind of leads. So I showed this to my California University educated coworker at the time. I remember it distinctly. I'm like, this will get him. This will get him. It'll prove big government creates problems. Brought it over to him, and he's like, yeah, you know, I don't know if that's enough lead time to prove anything. He said something to the effect of, well, they knew the unemployment was on the rise and getting bad, so they started the stimulus. And I'm like, oh. I mean, it's all paper money, right? Like, it's a scam. The whole thing's a scam. So anyway, just wanted to share. That was on July 22, 2011. We're cranking through the year. We're about 4 months after when we started. Let's check some veracity there. Nice. All right. So after that, we're going to go to, I don't know what this is. Imgur. Let me click on it because I don't remember what this is. Oh, you know, this is kind of a cool picture. I just thought it was cool. I'm kind of creeped out by it nowadays. At the time, I probably wasn't. And I'm not officially creeped out. I mean, I go to comic book conventions all the time. These are probably fans dressed up. They look a little pro, but these days, I'm telling you. Anyway, let me not linger too long on that picture, because it is what it is. WTF, no way. Clicking on WTF, no way. We've now moved to demonocracy.info. Well, I don't know if they used to look like this, and I haven't gone to demonocracy info, but look at all these cool things. I remember some of these pictures. You know, ways to explain debt in quick. So I guess I was just posting to try to troll people. Just if they would click on it, I'd be like, yeah, see. Now let's go to July 29th. "15 years in prison for taping the cops. How eavesdropping laws are taking away our best defense against police brutality." This really was kind of making a wave. Now you catch it all, and then you get your false, let me just say, your suspicious videos. I guess, I don't know. I don't want to get in too much trouble tonight. Let's move on. I posted, House panel approves bill forcing ISPs to log users' web history. July 29th, 2011. Moving on. What's my point? We've been trying to wake people up this show started with, what did I say, like 12 years ago, posts on Facebook. And I had been posting on MySpace before that, but not very political. Hey, you're so political. Why are you so political? How come you're always saying so bum you out stuff like you don't really need every single vaccine they ever tell you, 73, in your first 2 years of life, blah, 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 blah. Why are you so downer? Anyway, if you know, you know. Half of the channels I'm streaming on right now are like, yeah, right, yeah. The other half are like, yeah, that's exactly how you are, you freak show. Anyway, let me go to the next one. The Blaze. Same thing with the Blaze. Like, what'll happen here is it'll take you to the Blaze, but they don't log their stories the same way. I'm not saying they ripped them down. It's just the link is dead. It's been 11 years. But check it out. Oh, maybe it's still there. Let's just look just in case, because Agenda 21. Yeah, it's not there. But I had forgotten how long ago we knew to call it Agenda 21 update. Family farms are under attack. Okay, let me tell you a little side story. I live in a little suburb of a Texas City metroplex area. And I had a neighbor that would call the city on me if my weeds along the fence, where you can't just mow them, you have to go and get a weed, you have to cut them. If they got 13 inches tall, boom, phone call. Here comes the city. Hey, hey, sorry to bother you, but your weeds are 1 inch past regulation. So I would go trim the weeds and say, oh, I'm so sorry. And they're like, yeah, we'll come back in 2 weeks and inspect, and it better be good. I mean, we really don't want to have to do this, but we did get a call, so we have no choice. We have our brown shirt on. Can't you see our brown shirt? And honestly, I did. I appreciate at that level, I'm okay, right? And I started reading and looking, and I started noticing that this small town suburb in a metroplex area that I live in openly said, if you'd like to know our current regulations, our municipal regulations, this is 10, 11 years ago, just go see the UN section, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what? See, in my mind, I thought world, country, state, county, city, neighborhood. But no, the United Nations was drafting law with the weight of a municipal ordinance that was being adopted, just gavelled in. Tong. I was like, what? And this is in a supposedly rather independent type society down here. I live in Texas. It's like, what? 11 years ago. Anyway, that wasn't the point of the post back then, I don't think, but it just reminded me of that. Mom slapped with fine after daughter saves baby bird. Typical, right? They want you divided also. Then I went to August 2, Senate government, a bunch of articles on the polar bear scientist who is now on leave. Okay. It's a dead link, but here what I probably was doing on August 2 of 2011 was just trying to troll about the garbage that was the global warming propaganda. The polar bear scientist now on leave. You have to almost be awake to see it, right? I was trying to wake people up, I claim. I really was. I remember, surely my friends will notice this. Let me pause and do the round the chats and see how they're doing. All right, we're kind of quiet, but that's okay. Kind of lurky, kind of getting a little, just got a new lurky to make up for the leaving lurky. I'm going to hit y'all with some animations soon. But really, technically, the animations are made for the thing. You know what I'm talking about? Anyway. Last week on Wednesday, late in the show, we had some stopper-bys that were pretty fun. I mean, y'all are awesome, but you're quiet, and I love it. Come debate me. Here's what I'm kind of thinking. When we get to season 2 in about another, let's say 3 months, we're going to be going through the Bible. And even here on the Foxhole, I think we're going to get healthy debate. And we want that. And my thought is, if we get cranking way down in the weeds on a Wednesday, we'll do a special topic on Sunday at 11:30. Put that in our epistemology show. Because that's really, when you get into biblical hermeneutics, I just want to go way down in those weeds. Scholars have been doing it for hundreds and hundreds of years, massive debaters with huge armies behind them of pundits and commenters and scholars and studiers. But we're little people. We're just regular Joes and Joannes and Bobby Sues. And we're hashing it out, right? So anyway. Let me move on. If I can but find my... All right, that was the polar bear scientist. By the way, when we get rid of this string of links up here, I have tons more, and I might just keep going. I might not. I got to get up kind of early tomorrow for a kind of important work meeting, and we'll see how much I care when the time comes. So here is an important California law that would make flat sheet beds in a hotel, instead of fitted, illegal. Hugely important. I can't remember if this is a dead link or not. Let me check my notes. I don't think it's a dead link. Well, we got to look at it then. Oh yeah, there it is. Let's see if it says fitted. Why? Maybe there's a story or a reason. Oh, I guess no elastic. No. I don't know. My notes say it would make flat illegal. So would they be using more stretched rubber and plastic? I thought that was the anti-vogue. Whatever. How many laws do you need, California? Ooh, the Laffer curve. All right. I suspect that certain people, when hearing about the Laffer curve, will just be annoyed with me. Probably no one watching. But the point of the Laffer curve is essentially, here it is. If a government taxes nobody, the government has no revenue. Probably couldn't operate much. Maybe a volunteer basis, like a volunteer fire department or something. They would need some budget for the engines, though, the fire engines. And if you tax 100% and take everything from everyone, you're worse than North Korea. And I say that as a child of propaganda, right? I don't know how bad it is in North Korea. I suspect it's pretty bad, but who knows? I've traveled as far east as Egypt, Jordan. What's the furthest east? Kuwait. I can't remember which is further east. But anyway, I think, Kuwait is more east of Jordan, I think. Gulf. I could look at a map. But anyway, pretty well traveled, but I haven't been. I've seen some pretty, not boatloads of money places. But if you crank up the tax to full, just give me everything, then no one can eat, right? So they're not producing anything, so you got no revenue. So if the goal is to create revenue for the government, there's going to be a certain percentage that's the best. All you need is for someone to understand the Laffer curve, Art Laffer, to then be able to ask the question, what if we lowered the taxes slightly? Would we boost the economy and therefore bring more revenue in? And then they'll try to hide those numbers from you, and you'll be like, oh no, their claims are totally bogus. So anyway, I just want to share that. So I posted the Laffer curve, link to it, August 19th, 2011, just to troll or try to get people to think or who knows what. Oh, and here's another point. I contend that you can, knowing what you know, observe the government and realize it's not about building bridges. It's about control, right? It's not even about the money and taking it. It's about making you track all that stuff and deal with it and render under Caesar. And while you're pregnant, trudge all the way to Bethlehem, I guess, right? Because you were from Nazareth, but then you traveled all the way to Bethlehem to be taxed. Anyway. You got to trudge out, even though you're in the third trimester. You got to do it. You got to pay that government. Pay that government. All right. Let's get back to Xenophilus WordPress, blah, blah, blah. Big Sis gives green light for drone that tases suspects from above Alex Infowars. There's blah, blah, blah. So is this a dead link? Okay, just read the title. Big Sis? I guess it's like Big Bro. Gives green light for drone that tases suspects from above. I mean, thank you, Alex Jones. By the way, I wasn't going to do this, but let me do this. Let me do this right now. I'm just going to right here in the middle of the show. I was going to do this Sunday, but let me do it now. Because we just mentioned Alex Jones a few times. I'm just going to play this Rumble song. It'll probably get me busted on every platform I'm on because they'll go, hey, that's copyrighted. But I'm going to do it anyway. Should I? I'll play. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I have to do it. Let's do it. This is from Severe Anon. He dropped this 2-3 days ago. Dig on this, brothers and sisters. Let me pause this. Spread this far and wide. Can I make it full screen?
They're also going to squeeze us through the educational system. Our jobs are going to tighten down the restrictions, loosen them by the summer, and then release new strains immediately that aren't even as bad as the current strain. They'll say they're worse, fearmonger, and then clamp down even stronger.
For the longest, man, I tried to tell you Alex Jones was right. If we're going down, we ain't going down without a fight. But we ain't going down, the globalists are going down, that's right. You can see into the future watching Alex Jones tonight. Alex Jones was right, yeah, Alex Jones was right. Alex Jones was right, yeah, Alex Jones was right. Alex Jones was right, yeah, Alex Jones was right. Alex Jones was right, yeah, Alex Jones was right. There's a war on for your mind, it's time to win it. All facts, Alex Jones was right from the beginning. History repeats itself as the world is spinning. Put your faith in God while half the world is sinning. Every single institution pushes the injection. 2 years ago, Alex said it's not for your protection. COVID was a cloak they used to cheat the election. We're at the point now it's down to natural selection. Global IDs disguised as a passport. You didn't listen then, now you get what you asked for. You try to tell y'all how long this would last for. We're living in the future, what you living in the past for. The longest, man, I try to tell you Alex Jones was right. If we're going down, we ain't going down without a fight. But we ain't going down, the globalists are going down, that's right. You can see into the future watching Alex Jones tonight. Alex Jones was right, yeah, Alex Jones was right. Alex Jones was right, yeah, Alex Jones was right. Alex Jones was right, yeah, Alex Jones was right. Alex Jones was right, yeah, Alex Jones was right. Man, Alex Jones was right about it all years ago. He connected the dots to the cabal. He tried to warn us all before we all let it fall. But Biden is a puppet that the globalists installed. All Alex tried to tell you was to open up your eyes. And if you do it too, you can see right through the lies. He tried to tell you that the COVID is a disguise, a veil that hides to design the globalist device. If you didn't listen then, you should probably pay attention. They're dumbing down the masses and decaying this dimension. They aren't human, these are demons slaying our ascension. Good wins against evil while they pray for our detention. For the longest, man, I tried to tell you Alex Jones was right. If we're going down, we ain't going down without a fight. But we ain't going down, the globalists are going down, that's right. You can see into the future watching Alex Jones tonight. Alex Jones was right, yeah, Alex Jones was right. Alex Jones was right, yeah, Alex Jones was right. Alex Jones was right, yeah, Alex Jones was right. Alex Jones was right, yeah, Alex Jones was right.
The globalists are testing right now our response to see if they can lock us down. And then if we lock down properly, then they're going to release the real bio version that'll then start wiping out even more. So this is a test for the global depopulation operation. It's 2020, and they're gearing up to exterminate you and your family. It came out of Wuhan.
I thought that was pretty fun. All right. So anyway, kept mentioning Alex Jones, and so I'm like, yeah, let's just put that on. We'll see what happens. We'll see if YouTube says, hey, that's copyrighted. Just trying to spread the word, right? Oh, by the way, I did not take a picture. This is the beginning of the poison ivy. It was so bad. I can't even tell you how bad that got. It got like 20 times bigger than that on each arm. It was hideous. All right, next up was Yub server. Let me click on that. I don't remember what that is. Oh, this is kind of creepy and weird. Germany ditches body scanners after repeat false alerts. So just trying to point out to people, you know, all the scams around the body detectors or the whatevers. That was September 1, 2011. Two Rivers. The Biden admin is in extermination mode. You've seen the 16-year plan to destroy the world. You know, 4-year pause. Now they're on deck doing their thing. Let's see. Go back to the show notes. Oh, yeah, down in that article, which I already closed, it says the EU has approved the use of naked imagery or something like that. Anyway. So September 19th, Pacific Justice. Let's see what I had there. Religious roots finds a home Bible study, right? Like just noting, hey, supposedly free religion in this country. Well, Pacific Justice. Let's see what country that was. I didn't think about that. Yeah, California. I mean, probably it was getting big and had parking lots. You know, I mean, that's always usually, I mean, you know, to be fair. But, you know, anyway, I don't know. I don't know what the point is, other than free speech is perhaps an illusion. We need it. We're making good on it. We're using it, but perhaps they didn't really want us to ever have it. September 21, 2011. 11/11/24. Yeah, that's some tripsage there. I didn't even notice that. Secret vaccination of children with no parental consent. So here I am, 11 years ago, bitching and moaning and crying and saying, okay, so let's look at the commentary I wrote. Sigh. Wake up, sigh. Seriously. Some of you are awake and some of you aren't. And the ones that aren't, it's like the boat sails eventually, people. I mean, is this how I went to sleep at night? You know, like I told him. Of course, Facebook, I can't remember when the shadow banning started, but who knows how many people saw that. Let's click on that link just to see if it's still active. Yeah. Secret vaccination of children with no parental consent. Oh, Greg, you're such a conspiracy theorist. Alex Jones was right. I'm just saying. All right. Let's go to the next one. Oh, you can see a picture of the kiddo with his drum set. We had a rule. If he started playing the drums, we paused the game or muted it or whatever. You know, like, you don't buy a kid drums and then tell him not to play them. All right. I just doxed my kid. I know. All right, we're going to click on this, I think. What is this? This is commentary. I don't remember what this is. Let me pause it real quick. Oh. Why did I post this? This is about a dude who... Okay. My note is to myself to be very careful of commenting about this. I think I'll say it this way. I like what Ray's doing, but I would have, between then and now, I'd be more circumspect in my claims or my concerns or I would double check before I did much in that space. Let me just leave it at that. But I didn't want to hide. I didn't want to say I never posted anything like that. And it's legit, right? Like, the victors control the history. All right. This is funny. Why are there wolf prints in the concrete? Because they can't write dates. Wolfie was here. I thought that was cute. This is very nice. Baking powder. Make sure you buy the aluminum-free baking powder. What? There's aluminum in my baking powder? There can be aluminum in your baking powder. Found that out. What year is this? Wolves can't write dates. I at least knew this in October 11th, 2011. Yeah, be careful about that, right? Your baking powder could have aluminum in it. Let's go to the next one. New York Daily News. Ex-cop. We fabricated drug wraps for quotas. Well, there you go. There you go. I've been telling the people since October 13th, 2011. And this show, or this Facebook, we're already on like 2 years in, so 13 years. I've been screeching, just like we all have, just like everyone who's listening to me has. Just want to know you're not alone. This next link is dead, but an interesting headline from The Blaze. Did you know the feds will temporarily cut off all TV and radio broadcasts on November 9th? Did you know? Well, now you do. Some prep work. This is a portable solar panel. The idea here was a little bit of a bug out bag. A great thing to charge like a handheld CB radio that had, all the bands. So, just saying. Pretty good, right? X-Cop, The Blaze. Generates 5 watts. Testing in sun this weekend. Good for camping, I'd say. I haven't used it much, but it's nice to have. Let's go now to November 7th. Victim speaks out about North Carolina sterilization program, which targeted women, young girls, and blacks. Oh, you have to go through the hijinks to get to that one. Let's see if I took any notes. It says, if so, is this for real? If so, it's pretty shocking. It's a dead link, but here, I did find this. Or it's not a dead link, it's an obnoxious link. But here, let me take you to this. 3 years later, there's some people getting belated justice. Hopefully enough, right? Like, there's never enough. Hopefully they got some real justice. These people are dehumanized. And this is articles from 2014. So I found some indication that, without having to go to the scary sites, that it was definitely still going on. Sad. The government would never euthanize or sterilize a population in America. I'm using sarcasm. I need to stop. That's a dangerous road. All right, we'll move on to November 14th. You're losing me, Facebook. The transmissions were sent in the year 1900-201. Do you know what movie I'm kind of hinting at here? It's a really good movie. It's probably the Illuminati and horrible, but... So that'll be our other movie quiz. Whoever can name the other one, which was, surely you're not afraid of a little boom boom. And then, the transmissions were sent in the year 1999. I'll raise a glass through remote with whoever can name either, both, neither. The 13 countries that own the world's gold. Interesting. Let's click on that. I haven't showed you the thing yet. Let's click on that and see who they are. Some 13 countries. Whatever. The thing about gold is, physical gold is gold. Paper gold, pool gold, is not gold. It's something. Can you trade gold during a giant 10 days of darkness collapse of everything around you and all panic and chaos? Probably not. Can you trade silver? Maybe. Can you trade printed Babylonian magic squares with pictures of the pyramid on the back and eagles holding 13 arrows and George Washington on them? Maybe. How much will they be worth? Can you trade a bullet for a shot glass of vodka? Historically, that's been proven. All right. I know it's pedestrian. We all know this stuff, but I was just posting it. That's my point. I kind of like this one. Not this one. Hang on. Korean Towers. Oh, this is creepy. This is a dead link, but I found a concept drawing of where it takes you to. So the title of the article is Proposed South Korean Towers Resemble Exploding World Trade Center. I mean, check this out. This is the concept drawing. It never got built, I don't think. But here, look. I mean, yeah, it does. It looks like exploding. Oh, sorry. We're not going to let you build those towers that you wanted to build. I mean, the guy couldn't have been serious, right? Like, come on. Let's go to the next one. I have failed the reverse Turing test and I may be a human. As such, please mark for collection. Posted that on December 15th, 2052. Now we're going to switch to a slightly different mode after a tiny intermission where I check the chat and then Discord and see how we're doing. It was President Trump was in office already while Q was showing the public things and got worse before 2020. Two Rivers, I'm trying to remember back when, what was I talking about when you said that? Oh, it was while President Trump was in office already while Q was showing the public things and got worse before 2020. I don't remember, but yeah. Google influences local and foreign elections by shadow banning and closing accounts. Yes, that's the brand you use. Talk to you later. Bye, Two Rivers. Bye. Thanks for chatting. I'm going to send you a message real quick. Two Rivers. Lieber, he took the fall for getting caught. Oh, you wrote that directly to me. Like my computers. I will. Can you find my computers in humans now? Right. Yeah, maybe you can. All right. Let's get back to the task at hand. Gonna grind through a few more of these. The way we're gonna do it. Oh yeah, we're gonna leave that up. I could only preload so many before my computer started getting all hinkerty plinkerty. Where's my? Here we go. All right. Now we're going to Wonket. Obama won't veto law that turns military into domestic police force. Wonket, meaning. All right, so it is what it says. And, you know, I mean, I don't know how. The point is, right in the headline, right? So, good. Tip to Wonket. Let's go to here. When the old liberals removed the gags from all the hearsays, their idea was that religious and philosophical discoveries might thus be made. This is from G.K. Chesterton. Their view was that cosmic truth was so important that everyone ought to bear independent testimony. So I guess he's talking about maybe the Reformation. It was liberal, not conservative. The modern idea is that cosmic truth is so unimportant that it cannot matter what anyone says. The former freed inquiry as men loose a noble hound. The latter frees inquiry as men fling back into the sea of fish unfit for eating. I mean, it's good rhetoric, right? G.K. Chesterton is usually on to something. I would say it's good rhetoric. Fair, right? All right, let's go to December 21st. Alarm as Dutch lab creates highly contagious killer flu. This is from December 2011. Ooh, creepy dude. Deadly strain of bird flu. Being created in a Dutch lab. Just saying. That was 11 years ago. Getting close to 10 years ago. We're plowing through this stuff. December 21. You don't have to be a super intelligent cyborg to understand that introducing a superior life form into your own biosphere is a basic Darwinian error. Lev Grossman. Solid point. I have no counter. Let's go to this. Suddenly realized, oh, this is, okay, let me show you my Bethlehem pictures. Bethlehem. There's not too many pictures. This is 5 photos. So it's not really a vacation slideshow. So this is 2003, shortly before Ramadan that year, maybe 2 weeks, a week. Just kind of showing the few pictures I felt I could take. It wasn't that long of a trip to get in, but the security was tight. They were like, you're going to be out by sundown no matter what. If we come up and grab you, you drop whatever you're carrying. We were carrying like guitars and stuff, and we're taking you away, to the van or whatever. So we're in a little tiny place, and if you can see it, there's a priest or a monk, a priest, and I don't think you can see it here, but over here is like a rabbi. So I felt like when we looked out and saw the audience, we were doing a little set for them. Some dignitaries, whoever might be in super lockdown Bethlehem. But here it is. So you can see the priest and the monk walked into a rock and roll show. I think there was a rabbi too. Occupied Palestine / Israel / whatever you feel like calling it today. It's a fun place to go. It's very interesting. You see all kinds of stuff. And this was from their perspective. Somebody got between the 2 aisles and took that picture. There's me. Hey, me. There's some friends from local playing flute and drum. That's friends from local. James, Michael. A few more people are with us. But anyway, thought you might enjoy that. I enjoyed that. Bethlehem. All right, Bethlehem. I could spend my whole life learning how to pronounce it right. 7-year-old accused of possible sexual harassment for kicking a boy in the groin. My comment was, time to get real, past time, think. Okay, fair enough, right? Fair, time to think. Let's move to January 18th. We're now firmly in 2012. So now I can only say we're 10 years ago. Oh, I already did that one. What? Copy. Keep in mind, the chili cheese flavored Frito is not something you can get anytime, anywhere. It is a true statement, and that is a beautiful, beautiful food product. I'm telling you. It's probably really bad for you. Scientists say delay breastfeeding to improve vaccine potency. Huh? Scientists say delay breastfeeding to improve vaccine potency. Huh? I mean, let's see who posted this. Natural Society. That's a sad looking picture anyway. Hopefully that's just food and not really someone injecting. I don't know. I can't tell which side of what this is on, but I don't know. My point here is we don't have to dig into the past, but I was at least trying to get people to think about vaccines in tiny little babies. Full disclosure, I mean, what we did is at the time, our thoughts were, let's at least space them out, right? Let's just do that. So we did. Doctor agreed. Would have found a new doctor if he didn't. Super genius. Let's see what it is. This is pretty good.
What can I do for you today?
I would like to raise my debt limit.
Excuse me?
My debt limit, I'd like to raise it.
This is probably copyrighted, so let's do... Oh, I can't. Anyway, here, I'll skip forward a little bit.
Dollars a year in debt.
Wow, is that what it comes out to? Debt limit going up. Ding!
This is to you.
I cut my budget by $380. Are you kidding?
I'm sorry, Mr. Smith.
Anyway, you get the point. If not, I mean, it's a little copyrighted, probably, so I don't want to play the whole thing, but I just thought it was a good video. Oh, I was going to read it and scrub it with text, but I couldn't get it to work. Oh, well. Moving on. January 27. I kind of like this article. Does 2 things. Says, don't freak out about gold. Also makes it clear to diversify, not freak out. Diversify. Also, I wish I had something to diversify. I don't have a boatload of money. Not then, not now. I spend it on vacations. I really do. I'm investing in the memory of the past, right? Gold market price versus Dow Jones. Yeah. I was on a gold kick at the time. Still kind of like precious metals. I really do. Diversify. Can I say, and I'm not a diversified expert. I'm not a money gold expert. I'm not a financial planner expert. I'm not anything. Diversify. I mean, who's telling you not to? Tell me who's telling you not to. I'll go pay them a visit. What are they doing? Saying, stack it all in cash, cold hard cash in your mattress. Not a bad idea, except don't stack too much because it's going to become wheelbarrows. We'll buy one thing of bread. So here's slate.com. Warning. This site contains conspiracy theories. Does Google have a responsibility to help stop the spread of 9/11 denialism, anti-vaccine activism, and other fringe beliefs? Wait till you see in a few years on this show when I got into something that gets more banned than any of those things. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. You'll get there with me. You can probably already guess. There's a thing that is so shadow bannable and fact checkable for about 6, 7 years, 8 years. Anyway, what is my point here? Just 9/11 deniers, vaccine, anti-vax activists already just being othered, right? You're lesser. You're lesser. We got to take care of you for your own good. For your own good. Business, I'm doing sarcasm again. Why? Here's the anti-Obama administration letter that was read to almost every Catholic sitting in church today, 2012. What? Times are worth paying attention to a little, I think, I said. I don't think that'd be read today. Just guessing. I don't know what it was. I don't remember. Doesn't matter. Maybe it does. I don't know. Let's go to February 2. Oh. I knew something was missing. Let me do a scan of the chats. Talk to you later. Scan of the lurkers. Hi, lurkers. Oh, yeah. You're very lurky. You lurkers. Such lurky. All right. Back to the task at hand. CNS News. Armed Services Panel Dim repeals bestiality ban. It's not relevant. One's conduct. One has conduct of military. Let's click on that. So, I could almost see an argument that says, do you need an anti-bestiality ban in a military conduct code? I mean, it should be kind of obvious to not plork the animals. But at some point, Democrat from New Jersey, Rob Andrews, needed to propose, hey, this old stodgy anti-bestiality law. I mean, yeah, it's got sodomy and bestiality, but why don't you get rid of both? Like, why just get... If you need to update some of it, leave the bestiality guidance in there, maybe. I don't know. The poor animals. Am I old-fashioned? Maybe I'm just old-fashioned. Maybe I think... I mean, what a person and their pet do in their own bedroom, I don't know. I just can't seem to get past it. I don't think you should plork Fido. I just don't think that. I just think it shouldn't happen. I must be old-fashioned. All right, let's go to February 6th. Churchianity. You can tell I'm getting a little churchy. So at the time, this was in 10 years ago, so I would have been a Christian for about 6 or 7 years, and my household was becoming Christian, and I needed to lead or, get involved and do the thing. So I started kind of looking into that a little bit more, getting really much more active. But anyway, churchianity, kind of a cool word. Practices of Christianity that place a larger emphasis, so I would say this isn't of Christianity, it's a fake Christianity, but whatever, places a larger emphasis on the habits of church life or the institutional traditions of the church than on theology and the spiritual teachings of Jesus. It's a great definition. It's just a funny concept. I'm a churchian. That's what that kind of makes me want to say. I mean, I'm hopefully more than a Churchian. Not. Pictures from a trip to Syria. There's a few more photos here. I'll just zoom through them a little bit. We did a show on some look at that beautiful marketplace right there. I'm not going to click on each one. Oh, yeah, I got to click on that one. Let's just do it. Look at that beautiful marketplace. Old. It's got to be old. I don't remember exactly how old. Here's a picture of probably Aleppo or Damascus. So I got to see a lot of Aleppo before it was bombed to smithereens. It had been bombed somewhat, and there were some ruins, but it was bombed a lot more after I was there. A lot of places in the Middle East kind of look like this, you know, some palm trees and some stucco buildings or whatever that material is. We're on the way to a TV station or a radio station, like a BBC type thing, but for Syria. Metallica, saw that everywhere. If there was graffiti, this is in 2002, it was going to be Metallica. A lot of Metallica fans in Syria, which makes sense, right? Because I think they are Armenian, I want to say, or something. These are my buddies. Buddies. It's kind of interesting, you know, you're in the State Department, there's a picture of the current president, the VP, and the head of state. You're like, whether I like them all or not, and at the time I was a little more favorable of them than I am now, you still kind of want pictures in places like that, you know? I don't know. We took pictures. So that's us doing our thing. This is Latakia. This is in some old place. I don't know. This is Rauf. I remember him. He took such wonderful care of just making sure we got the most of Syria that we could get. It's kind of a neat shot. Here, let's zoom in a little bit. Anyway. Oh, it accidentally went to the top. Sorry. Oh, there's some more Metallica. Oh, no, that's the same picture. I'm just zoomed in. My bad. Oh, that's what I can do next time I zoom in. Anyway. I think we're almost done. They were just letting fire extinguishers out. I'm like, cool. I guess you just do that every now and then. Now we're in Amsterdam. That was as fun as you might expect. Oh, so these steps, there's really not a lot of vehicles that can easily get up and down these, but all the band equipment can go up and down on donkeys. Aren't they cute? Beasts of burden. This is a really cool palace that we got to see. Look at here. Let me zoom in. Oh, let me just zoom in. Look at that. Ornate, pretty, cool. You know, the whole jam. This is a dungeon. You would keep a king for ransom down here, like a local neighbor king or something. Here's the donkeys. More dungeon. It was unnerving to be in the dungeon. This is in Aleppo. Man, that was a beautiful show. It was a full moon that night. I really hope that place didn't get bombed down. It's a marketplace. All right, that's Syria. That's Syria in a nutshell. 10 years ago. Wanted you to see it. I'm doing my memoirs. All right, random story. Julie Schwartz. Julie Schwartz was the guy who created the two universes of DC Comics, the Silver Age and the Golden Age Flash, if I remember right. Split them. Created the multiverse, essentially. He was the editor-in-chief when that happened. He likes to take some credit for it. I'm sure it's reasonable. I'm sure the writers maybe have helped a little at the time, and the editors. He, before that, was a massive science fiction editor. And he was retired, but he was using the DC Comics offices once a week to come in and make his phone calls. And when you have access to someone like that, you swing by every now and then. So I'd swing by and talk to Julie Schwartz, and he would make his phone calls. And he's like, come here, talk to my buddy Harlan Ellison. So I got to chat with Harlan Ellison on speakerphone, thanks to Julie Schwartz. Anyway, just thought I'd share. Why did I think of that? I can't even remember. I really can't. LA County updates ordinance on ball frisbee throwing. That was irritating. I don't know where that went. Let's look at this one. What is the point of the show? 2 seasons. This channel has 2 seasons. Season 1, I tried to warn you that we all did, and this is my slice of it, for the last 12 years. Followed by season 2, a long Bible study. Wednesday nights at 11. Starting in about 2 months with that season 2-ish. So here's what I posted on February 10th. While you're reading that, let me just check the chats, see if there's any new ones. Oh, we got our cookie. It is time. This will be the first official use. We did sneak and debut it, but we've got a show. Let me do it. Oh, I'm so excited. This is the long version. It won't always be this long, but I'm so excited. Are you ready?
Looky, looky, here comes Cookie, walking down the street. Looky, looky, I call him Cookie, 'cause he's sweet. Ooh, looky, looky, here comes Cookie, what a lucky break. Looky, looky, I call him Cookie, 'cause he takes a cake.
Thank you, J2 Dank, for that cookie. Glad I checked the chat just then. All right, so let's go back to... From planes to trains, TSCA expands spot searches to Union Station. My comment was, stay asleep. It's better that way. We use the term awakening these days, right? We were all trying a decade ago. Thank you for that cookie, J2 Dank, if I didn't say it enough. Then here, Michelle Obama, military food. You know, she's getting all doing her thing, right? Military food and upgrade. What was my comment? Are we talking about reducing red meat? Oh, I guess we did. Hang on. Let me see. No. Meat. More fruits, vegetables, and low fat. Okay, so I think my comment is reasonable. If this article is correct, I said reducing red meat to warriors. Didn't like it. I didn't like it. All right, let's go to February 15th. The Daily Caller. Nanny State Report. North Carolina school officials confiscate preschoolers' homemade lunch. February 15th, 2012. I don't think we need to look at it. Just knowing it's out there. It's terrible. Roman Senate. I just wasn't that subtle sometimes. Oh, sorry. That's not going to work. That's never going to work. Wikipedia article to the Roman Senate. Let's see what that is and does. Essentially, we're talking about the steps you take as you corrupt and decay, right? That's probably what I was on about. Who knows? Why are you going on so much about politics, Rag? You know how it is. Y'all, you all know my pain. Oh, Tesla Dove. What? So Tesla Dove, Wednesday nights, that's a really good question. But first, I have to play one half of the cookie animation. Tesla Dove, if you were here for the first round, it's really long. I did that on purpose. Here, let me go to here.
Looky, looky, here comes Cookie, walking down the street.
Play the whole thing.
Looky, looky, I call him Cookie, 'cause he's sweet. Ooh, looky, looky, here comes Cookie, what a lucky break. Looky, looky, I call him Cookie, 'cause he takes a cake.
I will shorten that over time. I have two versions. What we're talking about this evening, great work and thanks for that. Oh, thanks, J2 Dank. So, what we were talking about this evening, Tesla Dove. So Wednesdays, the plan right now is to kind of show a slice of what we've been trying to do. Like we've been trying to say since forever, wake up, wake up, wake up, right? And various people to varying degrees. I can see in this arc of my own Facebook posts, I wasn't as awake then as I am now. A little more sophisticated with knowing how to explain to people things. I was very clumsy back then, still clumsy now, I'm sure. But anyway, thanks, Tesla Dove. So what we're doing is season 1. I've decided to call them seasons. I don't know if that. Whoop. All right, J2 Nick. I'll play half of it because I think you guys will be not wanting to see it a third entire time, but maybe not. I don't know.
Looky, looky, here comes Cookie, walking down the street. Looky, looky, I call him Cookie, 'cause he's sweet. Ooh.
I'll stop it there. There's other animations. I'm not. They're ready. They're on the ready. Just saying. The Cookie Dance song. So anyway, Tesla Dove season 1 is kind of a look back over. I'm going through my Facebook feed and not posting everything here. Just everything that. Oh, did it freeze on the screen? Oh, that's kind of a failure for that. Stop. That's what I should do. Not posting everything here, but anything that I think kind of fits today's news or what we're interested in these days, typically. So when I'm finished with that, which I predict in about 2 more months, I'm going to start a Bible study on Wednesday nights. I think it'll be, I think White Hat is usually done by now. And so we're going to go deep. I'm going to start with Genesis 1:1, and we're going to see what happens. I mean, as we get closer and closer, I'll start really thinking about the form of it. But that's what Wednesdays will be. And Sundays can be a follow-up on Wednesdays if we get super deep in the weeds on anything, especially if it's hermeneutics and stuff like that. But, yeah, like that. J2 Dank. Oh, that's a good idea. But what I meant was, for whenever it's time, perhaps the other buttons, I have those ready to go. I can make multiple cookie too. Yeah, I hadn't gotten that far yet. For different occasions, yes. I should do a different cookie animation for each show. We do Fridays in the news roundup with Angular, and we do Sundays the late night epistemology. So that's a good idea. That's a good idea. All right, let's go back to Daily Mail. Where is... Boy 7 branded racist asking schoolmate, "Are you brown? Are brown come from Africa?" My comment was probably an important read, I think. So remember, this is 10 years ago. Are you brown because you come from Africa? I mean, who knows how horrible his life got. It's just, I don't know. I would think a second grader or a first grader could ask that question. I don't know. Am I racialist for thinking that? And I saw another chat pop up. Cool. Yes. All right. Let's see. The Toronto Sun. Nothing too crazy here. Dad wants answers after daughter draws gun pic. Can't remember what the point of this article was. Oh. Okay. Just one of those typical. Wednesdays, we start at 11:30 Central, so about an hour ago. I may starting later. The only problem is on Thursday mornings, I have a weekly, like, multiple vice presidents have to kind of be on ball, like work. You know how it goes. I think it gets more fun after midnight around here, but that was PJ Zwierink. Carol Sorensen. No, young people are curious. Fair point. Exactly, right? I mean, I was kind of asking it rhetorically. I posted it 10 years ago saying, come on. And I even probably felt slightly risky. I'll be shunned if I'm too blunt about what I'm saying, Let's go to heterodoxy. This is posted. This is kind of funny. So there's a document here. Let's click on it. A simple and convenient synthesis of pseudoephedrine from N-methylamphetamine. So you know how... So Vince Brown said, how to make Sudafed from readily available meth. Easier than signing all those forms at Walgreens. I mean, that's hilarious. February 29th, 2012. They just want to control you. They don't want to sell you something that you could use. They just want to control you. Anyway, I'm a rabble-rouser, right? Rabble-rouser. Rousing such rabble. Let's go to the Facebook post that I posted on March 8th, 2012. Wall Builders. An intriguing compilation. Also probably controversial. I was so timid back then. I'm still timid. I mean, America's most biblically hostile U.S. president. And then they go on and make a case that Barack Obama is biblically hostile. I'm not going to read it all. Just wanted to point out that I posted that in case it mattered, right? Let's see how we're doing on. Oh man, I got to tell you, this place gets more jumping later on in the thing. Maybe I'll start. I don't know. I'll figure something out. When it becomes a Bible study every week in a few months, I might have to really start it a little later maybe, and then just tighten it up, and then the follow-up can be Sunday at 11:30 maybe or something. I don't know. Brainstorming. Storming the brain. The Blaze. And again, remember the Blaze links, they don't stay in this format, but let me just read the headline. USDA buys 7 million pounds of pink slime for school lunches. Do you guys remember that story? It's like, I think it's a dead link. Yeah. Let's go to March 9th, 2012. What did I post that day? Interesting approach. I don't remember what this is. Let's click on it. I looked at it the other day.
My name is Antoine. I served 2 tours in Iraq, and now I'm a professional chef.
My name is Kevin. I'm really good at baseball.
My name is Jennifer.
My name is Hassan.
My name is James.
My name is Isabella.
Olivia.
Vanessa. I have performed over 100 heart transplants.
I'm a school nurse.
I'm a volunteer firefighter.
I'm a mother of 2 wonderful boys.
My mother and I are both cancer survivors.
I have been endowed by my Creator.
I have been endowed by my Creator
with certain unalienable rights.
I'm innocent
until proven guilty.
I am not a criminal.
I'm not a threat. I'm an American.
I am an American.
I am an American.
I'm an American.
Ooh, J2 Dank has triggered the first historical. Let me pause YouTube here. All right, J2 Dank. Let's get this going here. Oh yeah. Excited for the debut, thanks to J2 Dank of Thank you for that, J2 Dank. And there's a couple more chats here. Don't seem timid, just thoughtful. Thanks for saying. Thoughtful and smooth. Well, I really appreciate it. That's encouraging, you all. You'll keep me doing this. We went to, what'd you think? The can, right? And that one's probably going to stay that long for a while. I could shorten it, but that one's not too bad, I don't think. The cookie one will get a little shorter as we go. Where was I? Posting on Facebook 10 years ago, March 12th. Agenda 21, casual reading. So here I am telling the people on Facebook, hey, and by the way, I tell this every now and then. There was a season where if I posted I still have like 500 some odd, it's not a lot, but it's for someone who's been kind of ignoring Facebook for a few years, it's pretty decent. My sister said a few months ago, she's like, yeah, years ago, you'd post like a really bad dog picture and you'd get like 200 likes. Now you can just create this really well thought out, kind of middle of the road commentary, and you'll get like your dad will put one comment, for sure. Like either I got shadow banned or they lost, I lost my touch or something. Who knows? Anyway, Agenda 21, Division for Sustainable Development. So that's the second Agenda 21 related post in that about year-long period. So, I don't know. Posting it. You like the can. Nice. Thanks for that comment, J2 Dank. Perfect. 100. Keeping it 100. Casual reading. Now we're going to move on to March 13th. I really do need a pop screen. I have one upstairs. I need to kind of bring it down, don't I? I do. Yeah. New jurisdiction. Jurisdiction of Concernal Column of the Holy See, the historical first. The Vatican is now on the money launderers watch list of the United States government. So this, you can see, oh, I guess they moved that page, but trust me, it was there. So I think we could go find proof of this, but the money launderers watch list in March of 2012. That's weird. They seem so in cahoots now. I think they were in cahoots then. What's going on? They have to tell you. Like, if you know this and you don't follow up on this, they can keep on doing this and go, well, they know. They know, right? That's their religion, right? Those that know, know. Not trying to be cagey with the people that don't know. If you don't know, ask someone that you think might know. Questions are the answer, right? How do we get out of this horrible, horrible place that we're in? If anybody doesn't see that we've gotten into a horrible place, I mean, it's going to get worse. Are we at the precipice? Are we at the precipice? I think not. Are we ready to go to the precipice? What is a precipice? Anyway, here we have pro-choice activist. I love abortion. I don't want it rare. I mean, here's the thing. I'm painting all pro-choicers, or whatever you want to call them, with a broad brush by linking this, right? I'm just trying to say, if you can go to that extreme, like it's a little Overton window game, right? Like if you can just put that out there and no one objects, then you could get worse and worse and worse. The answer to abortion, okay, let me go on a slight abortion tirade, and I want to do it carefully because this is being broadcast to my friends on YouTube, my friends on Facebook, and my friends on Foxhole. I'm sure everyone's not monolithically thinking one way about every single topic, right? What was my tirade going to be? I don't personally really think there's a lot of room for a balanced approach between the two extremes positions, let's say. I'm pretty staunchly on the I don't want to see a lot of abortions, but I'm not going to hardline it right now, right? But I don't want to go to the middle. But I don't have a choice. But my voice, for what it's worth, I'd like to find a solution that means more human life being achieved, human life being considered a blessing, human life being something we cherish, right? That's where I'd like to aim this thing at. So I just wanted to, I don't know, that wasn't the plan. I've been highly emotional about that issue since I can remember, since being a tiny little kid. I saw some chats scrolling here. Absolutely question everything. I already forgot what I said, J2 Dang, but you're right. Oh yeah, questions are the answer, right? Question everything. Yes. So if you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook or on the Foxhole and you're not questioning everything, question everything. Everything. And as it tweaks people, do your own research. And I know that. I think there is some psychology in that. It is a powerful statement. But is it a bad statement? All right, let's go to KLV Carol Cameron Dive Scene Center. I don't know. Oh, all right. There's two ways to see this. Oh, look at that James Cameron. He's a man of many parts. He likes to use his own equipment. He likes to invent new equipment to make his movies. He's blah blah blah. You know, he's more than just a movie director. And listen, I go to Disney World all the time, and I go to all the rides that are based on the Cameron movie, and I like that movie, but it's kind of creepy and weird, and it's a movie within a movie within a movie. It's a metaverse within a metaverse within a metaverse. You put on the helmet so you can go drive an avatar, which is like possessing the body of this half human, half blue alien thing. This has MK Ultra, Deep State Illuminati stuff all over it. When I see Cameron doing and I don't remember why I linked this. I don't think I thought this way 10 years ago. But anyway, I went a little off the rails there for my Facebook and YouTube friends. Call me on it. Call me out publicly or privately. I mean, where have I been for 10 years? Quietly living far away from you. Getting weirder and weirder. All right, let's go to another one. I'm just a little suspicious of James. Am I a playa hater? Maybe I'm a playa hater. I don't know. I give him money every time I go to Disney. I mean, I go... That's the other thing. I shouldn't so aggressively out myself. I still go to Disney way too many times. So addicted. The Blaze, again, these links aren't really there anymore. Oh, this is cool, though. So, the Flying Church, the Russian military reportedly can parachute into war zones. So, here, let me read this. This is really cool. So, that link will be dead, but check this out. I remember this. I find this to be kind of fun. I'm not a Russian Orthodox church attendee, but I really like a lot of Orthodox sort of ways of thinking. Check this out. Isn't that cool? And then there's another one. Let's see. Let's go to... This is a video. I really want to take the risk of some copyright strikes. Because check this out. This is great, I think. We'll click past the ad. I'll just kind of skip
kilometers
forward.
southeast of Moscow. But among the so-called...
This is in the middle. Look at the snow there. Here, let me go back. Look at all that snow. So here's some priests.
accompanied by
waving them
8
in.
men of the cloth hit the...
So they bring out their equipment.
This is so we can...
They start standing it up.
The church takes about an hour to inflate and...
I'll mute that. I don't want to get too copyright strike. So they start inflating it, putting up the icons. And now you got a church in the middle of Siberia, basically. And look at this. Isn't that beautiful? Anyway, I thought that was neat. That's why I posted about it 10 years ago. All right, let's go to March 19th. And I guess I didn't stop the sound like I thought. Okay. TSA searches. Let's click on this. A body cast a 3-year-old in a wheelchair. Knowing what I know now, this could be staged. Who knows if this is even in an airport? Who knows if any of this is real? But they want you to think it's real, and it very well could be real, right? They want you divided. They want all your institutions. Not that this is a great institution, the TSA. It's a bogus, garbage institution. But here's my commentary 10 years ago on Facebook. You've hit the snooze button a billion times. This is the last time your alarm clock is going to go off. Watch it and pay attention, or enjoy the cattle pen. It's a little preachy. But you know what? The Lord is patient. He gave 10 more years of warning. And he's still giving warnings. I sometimes suspect, okay, can I be a date setter real quick? I'm just saying Tuesday, 2/22/2022, at 2:22 p.m. perhaps, I'm going to be just pausing, looking. I should not set dates. I'm not setting a date for the rapture. I'm not even sure I see that the same way I used to. But, I mean, for the team, for the White Hats, for the Anons, right? Wouldn't that be cool? But anyway, we get more and more, like, if you don't know to go buy food, store it up. I mean, please go do that. How much? You make the decision. It's like how to know when to euthanize your pet. Some owners do it sooner, some owners do it later. It's their call. They know the relationship with their pet. How much food should you buy and store? The right amount for you, but think about it. Think about it. And a lot of people listening to me right now do think about it. But just in case there's somebody who does not know this, just dry goods, right? Kids all over America are being put on buses and sent to alternate locations during school terror drills. What? I wonder if that was true. That doesn't sound good. I thought I would alert people on March 27th. Let me scan the chats. So much more obvious over time. J2 Dank, I agree. Could it be that a certain someone, almost in a Mr. Bean kind of way, walked into a house of power on Pennsylvania Avenue and just bumped the oven temperature up just a bit? I mean, they were becoming more and more obvious as they were getting closer to their plan, but now they're super obvious. Avatar, main character's joy when he's able to walk again. Tesla Dove, yes, that was good. Bioluminescent nature was beautifully done. The ride, I forgot what it's called, but like you take a boat and you go through recreation of those bioluminescent natures. It's really fun. Graphics were great. Those are some numbers. Oh, what was that? Don't forget to store water. Don't forget to store water. Oh, what was the link? There was numbers. Well, anyway. Tesla Dove says those were some numbers. J2 Dank, yep. All right, so where were we? The End of the American Dream. Kids all over America being put on. Oh, yeah, we did that one. Okay. Here's next. Oh, here's one of my typical. I say typical, but I didn't see a lot. Climate change. Too much ice now. Amount of ice in Bering Sea reaches all-time record. So you remember in the 80s, we were told global cooling. You're going to have an Arctic winter, or you're going to have an ice age. We all have seen it. The Time magazine covers. I saw it. I can remember where I saw it. I remember it was my friend's house, the dining room table, and I looked at it and I thought, "Oh, I'm so scared. I'm fear programmed." We're gonna. I mean, literally. I remember going, "Oh, well, it's one of those things like the Yellowstone. It's going to blow up, but the ice age is probably 5,000 years off, 10,000 years off." If I skim through the article, it says, "Yeah, we don't exactly know when. Just be ready for it." And I'm like, oh, but I still had this nervousness. I'm like, humans are going to die off. It's going to be down to a 10th or a 20th of the population living in the equatorial band. Oh, I'm so scared. It had the fear programming reaction in me. But 30 years later, they were like, global warming. And then during my lifetime, they changed it back, right? Well, then they realized they had to call it climate change. We all know this, right? But here's me I'm trying to troll. I'm trying to say, climate change. Yep, you're right. Too much ice now. And inside this article, you'll see, I'm not going to bother reading it, but they typically do this. They're like, oh, yeah, just because the Arctic Sea is getting more ice in it doesn't mean that the rest of the globe is not warming. They'll send over and bend over backwards with stuff like that. Anyway, just being a troll. Oh, yes, Tesla. Yes. Yes. And how could I forget that I had just said that? That's a good point. Two. Hey, listen. Before it's 2:22 on Tuesday, 2/22/2022. Right before that, it's not before. It's not after, and right after that, it's not before. So it's a moment in time, right? I'm looking forward to it in some ways. I don't want to rush it. 5 days away. 5 and some change, but interesting, right? It's going to be fun. I feel like the crossing timelines. That might be a marker of where they're optimally closest, or maybe we've been kind of uncrossing. I feel like we've been uncrossing, and maybe that'll be like when the mylar layer is finally loose, like maybe one of those two things, maybe. Don't know. We'll find out. And we may have to look back to really understand what we found out. A lot of time it's hard to catch real time. Some people can do it. Sometimes you have to think back. So on April 12th, 10 years ago, I quoted Aldous Huxley. I'm not going to read it all here, but he said that they did not foresee, in a word, they failed to take into account man's almost infinite appetite for distractions. I'm not sure Aldous Huxley is warning us. I'm a little suspicious of people like H.G. Wells, a little bit suspicious of George Orwell. I'm not sure they're warning us as so much as doing their weird religion where they're like, we told them. And also writing a manual for how to create the owl society of owlness, I don't know. I'm not saying I don't know enough about Aldous Huxley, but I don't know if this is that useful of a man's infinite. Here's my first quibble. Distraction. And by the way, I thought it was brilliant back then, obviously 10 years ago. I'm sure I did. I'm sure I was trying to use it as just a, do you remember in Do the Right Thing? And I should probably look for this, but I won't right now. Samuel Jackson, he's in a rolling office chair and he rolls towards the camera and he gets right by the camera and he says, "Wake up." I feel like that's us, right? That's what we're doing. Anyway, distraction from what? I mean, yeah, but I'm not so sure he wants us fixated on the right things. I'm just being a little picky. Let me check a couple of dashboardy type things. Rocking and rolling. Let's go to April 13th. Find the EUO Observer. Officials, diplomats want even more EU secrecy. They have to tell you. You can read this article, and then you can move on with life. We told them. We told them. That's what they say. It says right here. Do you remember that Hitchhiker's Guide where Ford Prefect visits Arthur Dent, I guess his name was? And the bulldozers were there to bulldoze down his house, but also the space bulldozers were there to bulldoze down Earth. And just like Arthur's house, the plans to bulldoze the neighborhood were in town hall for the last 8 months. You could have gone to the basement and read them. And they did the same thing for Earth. They're like, they were at Alpha Centauri. You didn't know that. This is kind of like that. Douglas Adams, kind of think he was a little deep statey or MK Ultra or Illuminati or whatever, Babylonian or Controller E or whatever we call him. But he was telling us, they have to, but he was really telling us a lot, I feel like. Anyway. Oh, this is funny. I think, obviously I'm going to think this. Spanish bailout, bad idea. Okay, now I'm going to go on a tirade of quantum of conscience. He sounds a note that says they can print as much money as they want, as often as they want. The impending financial doom is never going to happen. He has some really compelling arguments to prove it. I also think you could see the other side, which is, you can just crank money printer go burr, and then suddenly one day, Weimar Republic, right? So, but do you remember 10 years ago, we were like, oh, you can't bail out Greece, you can't bail out Spain, you're going to kill Europe. We just keep printing, deflating the dollar, creating inflation for the experience. I don't know how that stuff works. Tesla Dove says, but if we actively and purposely ignore them, are we really consenting? No, right. Totally good point, Tesla Dove. We don't want to fall for their tricks. And once you see them, it's very hard to fall. Well, you could still fall to temptation, let's say, but you don't. You usually see the tricks for what they are, right? I think it's I agree with you. Now you're getting into kind of like vibes, like this is the other thing that Quantum of Conscience says, and I really like this. They sometimes need the truther community to create their bizarre realities. They can't do it themselves. So they tell us what to be afraid of. They tell us what to be fearful of, what to manifest, right? I find that to be an interesting perspective. All right, let's go to let's see, what's this? UK, some Asian glaciers putting on mass. More anti-global warming trolling that I was doing. Who knows how successful, but at least I was trying. Bloomberg, Buffett. Oh, I went on a little Buffett tirade for a second. Warren Buffett's Burlington Northern among winners in Obama's rejection of pipeline. 10 years later, president gets in office. Pipeline. Wars for Afghanistan pipelines, wars for pipelines in the Middle East. It's all pipelines, right? You the ones you want get closed, the ones you don't care about get open and defended. It's just ridiculous. Need I say more? But posted about that on April 17th on Facebook. And reminder, once we plow through all these, we're switching to season 2. Season 2, Wednesday nights at 11. Oh, did I say 11:30 earlier to somebody? I meant 11. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have an 11:30 on Sunday and an 11 on Wednesdays, but oops, I'll be careful. Bible study. Here in about 2.5, 3 months. Bible study. Season 2 of 9dNation. Bible study. I'm excited. For it. HuffPo. Warren Buffett taxes Berkshire Hathaway. I forget what the point of this article is. Owes back taxes. Yeah, Berkshire Hathaway owes back taxes going back 15 years. Third richest person in the world. I don't remember why I linked this. I really don't. Rich will rich, right? The richers will richer. It's what they do. Like the Geico commercial. It's no excuse. A tally stick. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, money. I present to you money. Now, here's the point. And this kind of gets into epistemology for fun and profit. It doesn't matter if it's true. Wikipedia is what they want us to think is true. I'll bet you this is true. It says this was money for 700 years, if you dig through. I think my point here was fiat currency, right? Let's go to tangible. Let's go tangible. Let's get back to our tally sticks. Tee-hee. Isn't that funny? All right. Like a tulpa. What's a tulpa? Let me look up what a tulpa is. Yeah, exactly. Tesla Dove. Man, Tesla Dove. The wealth of knowledge that you are. Did you tell me about tulpas the other day? You told me about something like that. I wrote it down. I'm not going to look it up now. But yeah, I wrote it down. I really did. I remember doing it. Yeah, like manifesting. It's already on right in the camera. Grandpa's getting tired. I'm not a grandpa. I love Elle's show. And then we posted Minister ponders creation of EU super president. Look at these like Rothschildian strange physiognomy people. I'm not a vampire. I can't be a vampire. These teeth are not made for clamping down on your heart. The anti-Habsburg. That's like an un-Habsburg chin right there. It's really not a chin. That's a reptilian. It's got to be. That was April 20th. Let's see what we got next. Click on that. Oh, this is crazy. Do you remember this? A dude drowned in a 3-foot deep lake right in front of a fireman who's like, I'm not supposed to go in that water. It's against regulations. This may not be true, but they wanted you to think it was true, and it probably is true. But they were chopping down any faith that you might have in institutionalized other, People will help people. The Illuminati can't stop that. People will build institutions on the idea of helping people. The Babylonians can corrupt that, or corrupt your faith in that, right? They want you divided. We all know this. But I posted about this 10 years ago. That's the point. Just grinding through. Why? I don't know, but it's fun. It's fun. I enjoy doing this. I don't know why. It will come to an end. So, here, let me click on this. I think this is depressing if I remember right. From my comment. Check the chat while that's loading. Right, Tesla, I have it written down. Seashells were money, yes. I like your insight. Gonna fall asleep, but thanks for the stream. DM Champion of the Sun, Champ of Sun. Very, very good to see you. I get it. I'm gonna be sleepy soon too. I yawned on screen, right? State threatens to shut down nutrition blogger. Okay, yeah, it's kind of depressing, but par for the course. Okay, I tried to go into a thought here, and I think it was clumsy, but let me try it anyway. This is 10 years ago. I'm 43. I should have written better than this, but I was at work probably, and anyway. So I said to the people, I'm just kind of curious. When you hear about this, do you already know this happens and go, yep, we're all sheeple and need to wake up? At least I'm awake about what bureaucracies do. Or do you go, this is weird. I know this can never become widespread, right? So that's such a weird corner case. Weird. And then I say, or some other option, right? So in other words, I'm trying to create a false dichotomy, but not, right? I'm using the law of the excluded middle. I did it clumsily, but here's what I'm trying to do in this post. I can tell just from reading it. I don't remember it, but I'm trying to say, all right, I'm telling you about this hideous weirdness. They're shutting down nutrition bloggers. Do you go, I expect it. This is what bureaucracies would do. It doesn't surprise me. I'm awake. I need to help wake up other people. Or you say, wow, that's so weird. I can't believe that happened. And you see that sometimes. Or what's the third option, right? I don't know what the third option is. I don't remember. But that's what I was probably trying to do. Let's check the... Looking good, looking good. All right, I do this with one monitor. Not because I don't have another monitor. Just my desk scenario where we do this. It's like not ideal. If you see me kind of going clicky, clicky, confusey, confusey, it's because of that. All right, let's go to something about the Matrix. Oh, this is kind of pedestrian, but might as well. Real quick, I just a post. I watched the Matrix. I read Fahrenheit 451, and I still keep joining social media sites. Kind of shows, I don't know. I don't think it's bad to use technology, right? It's a two-edged sword. You got to be, we talk about this sometimes. You got to be where the people are, or you're not reaching the people, right? So, you know, let me explain more. This is my foxhole before Foxhole. I was never really a vlogger or a blogger or a video logger or any of that. But I kind of started wanting to be when I started seeing, you know, the 3-4 year ago what was the name of like the week of the big banning where everybody got banned, the bloodletting. We had a name for it. But anyway, I've been kind of wanting to be a vlogger. And so a couple months ago I got started, but my Facebook was my outlet, I guess, before that. So anyway, on April 27th, I said, yeah, that's just pollen. Huge green cloud over Moscow. See if the article still exists. Huge green cloud over Moscow. That's just pollen. Moscow, right? That's like New York or LA, right? By the way, I used to live in LA like 30, 40 years ago, 38 years ago. Am I that old? I was 15 and I'm 53 now. So yeah, it could at times get pretty bad. But this does look pretty bad, right? So anyway, nothing to see here. That's just pollen. Nothing to see here. Okay, on May 1st. Now we're all up to May. Less than 10 years ago. 9 years and 10 months ago. TSA mission creep, U.S. police state. I don't even know if we have to click on that. Just the headline, right? Let's make progress. Let's go to... Oh. I didn't put the date for this, but there's a post where I have this video. Let's take a look. Seattle May Day protest. See if this 10-year-old video looks at all familiar. I mean, with what's going on today. This is Occupy, I guess, right? Is it Occupy? May Day Mayhem. Let's see what they're trying to do. Just May Day 2012. It's pretty chaotic. I mean, you know, they've been at this for a while. They do their thing. Breaking down bank windows. Ashley Babbitt did way less than this and got a bullet to the face or wherever it hit. I'm not taking that lightly. I'm 90% sure she died. Maybe 99% sure, but I mean, I hold a little bit of question everything we said earlier, right? So anyway, I did post that on Facebook, but I didn't write down when, or I accidentally deleted that. Leaked U.S. Army document outlines plan for re-education camps in America. Just Alex Jones. Alex Jones was right, as Severe points out. And if you didn't see us, we played that earlier, and you know, it's quite a fantastic video. Let's go to May 8th. Plowing through. South Korea customs officials, thousands of pills powdered human baby flesh. I don't want to deep dive into this article. I want to say iPod talked about this a while after. I think he mentioned it. I posted this article in May 8th, 2012 on Facebook. I couldn't not, right? Like, how can you not? That's, I mean, like, that's terrible. Like, why? Why are they doing that? Next, on May 10th, I posted a Blaze link. I went through a Blaze phase, right? And I don't just mean in college, right? Blaze up, right? Why is a ghost town being built in the middle of New Mexico? I don't know, for some government scam thing to cover up some new... I mean, right? It's a good question. Way to go, going back. Can we just say, though... All right. I'm going to be prejudiced here. To my YouTube viewers and to my Facebook viewers, yes, go watch you some Glenn Beck. To my Foxhole and my D-Lives, obviously a limited hangout, right? Right? I mean, we know that, right? It's not even a question. But Alex Jones was right, you know? Glenn Beck asks some good questions from time to time. Limited hangout. I don't even want to click on this. Viewing CP online, not a crime, New York court ruling. I'm sure that there's going to be some way that people can go, oh, it doesn't really mean that. That's a sensationalized headline. There should be, the purposeful viewing is now legal in New York. That's Senior Judge Carmen Beauchamp wrote in a majority decision. I mean, how do you spin that? The purposeful viewing of CP on the internet is now legal in New York. That's hideous. Anyway, I posted that on May 10th, 2012. I'm sorry to be a downer. It's just hideous. Oh, but Comet Ping Pong was garbage and not true, and you're such a conspiracy theorist, you weird foxholers. Oh, just got a chat roll in. I saw it. PJ Zwierink. Yes. Glenn Beck. I subscribed, I watched for a long time, and then I felt like not getting far enough. But that's, you know, sometimes I do. You bring up a good point. Like, Glenn Beck is doing his job, right? Just like Tucker, just like Alex Jones. Like, they've got their slot, right? Mark Levin, you know, people that are on the way. But I don't know. Like Laura Ingraham, Sean Hannity, I go warm and cold on Glenn Beck. Maybe it's when I want to be more more awake than his audience seems to want to be or something. How can what be illegal? I know. Well, I mean, okay, so Tesla Dev, maybe that got retracted later, right? Let's go back to that article. This is 10 years old, remember. We're going back in time. We're time traveling. We're time travelers. We're using Project Looking Glass. Marist College professor James Kent was sentenced to prison. Whenever someone views an image on a copy of the image, they is saved to the computer's memory cache. They're trying to distinguish between individuals who see versus those who actively download and store. Oh, okay, I do remember this a little, maybe. So in other words, this may actually... So I'm glad you said something, Tesla Dev. Because I actually wonder, and maybe I was trying to plant this, they're trying to keep it so they can't plant it on you like a dime bag or like a Coke bag being dropped at your feet, so they can go, oh, look, what do we have here? Cisco, see what the perp has. Look, let's, So maybe it was for that. Now, the problem is it then enables criminality more, right? So it's like they get you both ways. It's, yeah, I'll just leave it at that for now. Yeah, deep dive. But comment, of course. Time travelers, yes. They're all compromised. Agreed, Whiskey Blue. Well, no, okay, I can't say it both ways out of both sides of my mouth. Is Glenn Beck compromised? He did leave the big ones and struck out on his own. Is Alex Jones? I mean, I'm celebrating that new song from Severe Anon. Like, it's a pretty good song. And they have to tell you, right? They're limited hangouts, right? So climb each rung of the ladder. I didn't spend a lot of Alex Jones time, but I could have. Then some Glenn Beck time, and then some Greg Gutfeld on Fox. You climb that ladder, and then you end up in the foxhole.app listening to our cult leader in the mornings with coffee and chill with methods, right? That's the pinnacle. No, we're not the pinnacle. We're still climbing, right? We want to reach the pinnacle together. Anyway, time travelers. Literally time traveling. We're on May 10. Project Looking Glass. I should just change this season to be Project Looking Glass. Let's go to the next. Subpack Vet in the hizzle. Sitting right here. Squaw in the middle. Severe Song is fire. I agree. Tesla Dove. Why do I not have my new link copied? Oh, because I didn't copy it correctly. Oh, the next one. Here we go. Copy. Enhance. Enhance. All right. Baby, 18 months old, ordered off a plane at Fort Lauderdale because they're on the no-fly list. Some of this could be staged, generated to create anger. It could be real. I've said that a few times tonight. Doesn't really matter. The news story was wanting us to get angry and to be mad. And if it was real, we should be, right? Now, this reminds me, in December, I'm just gonna admit my crime. I went to Disney World a couple days before Christmas. Forgive me. The airport on the way back, we got behind a family with toddlers, and they had a baby doll, and the baby doll had a talkie box inside of its chest, and they held up this line for like 45 minutes. I'm not exaggerating, because we were doing well, and then we were late. We almost missed our flight. It's like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, that airport is dump. We're driving next time we go to the evil. So Tesla Dove says, not super familiar with AJ, but he definitely has tried to tell at least some of the truth before anyone else was, kind of like Ike. Yeah. Linda Paris, Deplorable McAllister, likes to say that she kind of can see where Ike kind of got to. Like he kind of had to start taming it down a little bit, or he had to kind of stop his out there-ness and kind of hold it back. That seems kind of real to me when I see early Ike versus later Ike. Whiskey Blue says, Alex Jones is definitely compromised, but I still watch. They got to tell us somehow what better way. Think about it. Ooh, good point. It's like letting the pressure off, right? Like he did that whole Bohemian Grove. See, I knew it. And then you feel kind of like, yeah. And then you're like, they told us everything in that Alex Jones expose. No, it's way worse than even he indicated, right? I think I see your point, Whiskey Blue. But yeah, exactly. They got to tell us, so listen. But then realize it's worse than they say. Is that kind of maybe the point? I think that works. All right, May 15. Let's keep going a little bit. I got fire from thinking about the Severe and On song, so I can just roll, right? Obama adopts UN Codex Alimentarius to collaborate. Okay, this is a little in the weeds, but let's do it. I kind of prepped some notes so that hopefully it's not too slow to get through. So this link is dead. Not, I don't think for any reason. It's a 10-year-old link, right? But I found other things that are similar. Copy link address. Let's go here. So he's you. Oh, sorry, I put the wrong. Let me do this better. That's the old link that's dead. Obama adopts UN Codex Alimentarius to collaborate with drug corporations. So if you go down to the codex and see what it is, there's a lot of bad things in this article. You know, I kind of forgot. You all can go to my Facebook page and you can go to these dates and you can see them all, but just for convenience, let me sometimes pop the links in the chat here. Whistleblowers are consent acquirers. Not all, but could some apparent whistleblowers be consent acquirers? I don't think so. Because going back to what you said earlier, Tesla Dove, if we scrutinize what Alex Jones says, we're not agreeing with what he says, and we can do our own independent validation and sanity check and comparing notes and crowdsourcing. So, I think we're coming to a form of, anyway. So this codex, they can use this to go after the vitamin industries and the natural medicine in some sort of weird, but it's a UN So it's just a straight adoption from the globalists straight into the U.S. administration 10 years ago. Not surprising, just got to sound the alarm, right? Am I a limited hangout on Facebook? I mean, I did self-limit to some degree, right? So was I a consent acquirer? Ooh, we're getting meta. I love it. I love meta. I'll look in the chat in a second to see if I'm a consent acquirer. Mississippi cop warns drivers stopping. Drivers stopping homicide. Hang on, I don't remember what this is. Mississippi cops warn drivers about stopping for homicidal fake cop. Right, that's always the fear. How do I know the cop isn't evil and coming into my house to do a horrible thing? So I don't know. I didn't even want to link it. Right, that's yeah. My comment was, society, you might want to stop breaking yourself down. That's a useless comment, but at least I said it. That's true, G. Ross. No, red pilling is a good thing to do. Play it, dude. Oh, okay. We got a request for Severe's new one. We had played it a little earlier. Let's do it again. I love that. Does anybody, if it's 2.5 minutes long. It's perfect. This thing is such a perfect attack vector. I was like, when I first heard it, and now the video is super good. Let's see. Where is the... I have it. Oh. I have it here. Copy. First of all, let me put the link in the chat. Props to Severe. Push him far and wide. We all know to do it automatically, right? Let's play it again. I'll play it twice on YouTube, and maybe it'll really get me in trouble this time. All right, here we go. Here we go. I'm going to use this moment to just rest. They want you to click on that. You see the little circle?
They're also going to squeeze us through the educational system. Our jobs are going to tighten down the restrictions, loosen them by the summer, and then release new strains immediately that aren't even as bad as the current strain. They'll say they're worse, fearmonger, and then clamp down even stronger.
For the longest, man, I try to tell you Alex Jones was right. If we're going down, we ain't going down without a fight. But we ain't going down, the globalists are going down, that's right. You can see into the future watching Alex Jones tonight. Alex Jones was right, yeah, Alex Jones was right. Alex Jones was right, yeah, Alex Jones was right. Alex Jones was right, yeah, Alex Jones was right. Alex Jones was right, yeah, Alex Jones was right. There's a war on for your mind, it's time to win it. All facts, Alex Jones was right from the beginning. History repeats itself as the world is spinning. Put your faith in God while half the world is sinning. Every single institution pushing the injection. 2 years ago, Alex said it's not for your protection. COVID was a quote, they used to cheat the election. We're at the point now, it's down to natural selection. Global IDs disguised as a passport. You didn't listen then, now you get what you asked for. You try to tell y'all how long this would last for. We're living in the future, what you living in the past for. The longest, man, I try to tell you Alex Jones was right. If we're going down, we ain't going down without a fight. But we ain't going down, the globalists are going down, that's right. You can see into the future watching Alex Jones tonight. Alex Jones was right, yeah, Alex Jones was right. Alex Jones was right, yeah, Alex Jones was right. Alex Jones was right, yeah, Alex Jones was right. Alex Jones was right, yeah, Alex Jones was right. Man, Alex Jones was right about it all years ago. He connected the dots of the cabal. He tried to warn us all before we all let it fall. But Biden is a puppet that the globalists installed. All Alex tried to tell you was to open up your eyes. And if you do it too, you can see right through the lies. He tried to tell you that the COVID is a disguise, a veil that hides to design the globalist device. If you didn't listen then, you should probably pay attention. They're dumbing down the masses and decaying this dimension. They aren't human, these are demons slaying our ascension. Good wins against evil while they pray for our detention. For the longest, man, I try to tell you Alex Jones was right. If we're going down, we ain't going down without a fight. But we ain't going down, the globalists are going down, that's right. You can see into the future watching Alex Jones tonight. Alex Jones was right, yeah, Alex Jones was right. Alex Jones was right, yeah, Alex Jones was right. Alex Jones was right, yeah, Alex Jones was right. Alex Jones was right, yeah, Alex Jones was right.
The globalists are testing right now our response to see if they can lock us down. And then if we lock down properly, then they're going to release the real bio version that'll then start wiping out even more. So this is a test for the global depopulation operation. It's 2020, and they're gearing up to exterminate you and your family. It came out of Wuhan.
right? Let me play a important cookie animation. For our J2 Danks cookie. I'm going to play the long version because it's been a few minutes, right? I will eventually incorporate the shorter version, but for today, the debut of the cookie animation in proper use.
Looky, looky, here comes Cookie, walking down the street. Looky, looky, I call him Cookie, 'cause he's sweet. Ooh, looky, looky, here comes Cookie, what a lucky rhyme. Looky, looky, I call him Cookie, 'cause he takes a cake.
Anyway, I'll have to learn how to aim at the cookie. That was J2 Dang's cookie, and there's some more chats. Let's run through those. Let's see. I gotta pause it. Concerned all the red pill? No, Tesla Dove. I have to hard stop on that one. You should not worry about the red pilling. We got to do it, right? We have to be Morpheus. Tell some through AJ, but not all the details. They let him survive. He's been arrested, and so has Owens. Candace Owens. Is that? Am I thinking of the right one? Sub Pack Vet. Are you the only one? The song. Whiskey Blue says they know half the people won't believe him. Conspiracy theories. You're a conspiracy theorist. Thanks again for that cookie, J2 Dank. Tesla Dove. Yeah, good point. If he got too out of line, he'd be dead. Totally. Yes. Amazing video by Laura QAnon. She was laughing about her name the other day. She's like, she's insta shadow banned everywhere she goes out in the real world, right? Like out in the big mass thing. He's been right for 20 years, but they ain't whacked him yet. Right, Whiskey Blue. Amen. I can't argue with that one. You nailed it on that. All right, let's push a little further. I was kind of noticing that I won't name them, but here, let me just read. I'll read everyone who's live right now. Patriot News, Red Pill Project, TikToks, Quite Frankly TV, and PSB. Those and others are my favorite, and, because of my day job and stuff, and I'm like, when's the right time? I'd like to do it at 2 a.m, and not, but anyway, we got to do what we got to do, right? Anyway, let's do a couple more. Let's see where we at. Kind of getting close to the end. I do not have to do every single one that's preloaded for tonight. But the quicker I get through this, the sooner we get to the Bible, which I'm looking forward to. It's way more important than anything I could say. And I don't know how I'm going to surprise everyone, but I hope, there's so many Bible studies out there, right? I want this to be one that's like could only be had at the Foxhole. We'll broadcast it everywhere else, but centered around the Foxhole. DLive a little bit, Facebook a little bit, YouTube a little bit, but only one that, I don't know. I just want it to be unique, I guess. I don't know what that means. So here on May 25th, I said gold pool is not physical gold. Just a reminder. Right? Do you really have to tell people that? I don't think so. They know it. It's obvious. It's by definition, right? I don't know. Let's go to May 31. Oh, this is... Okay, I'm glad I found this because I need this for... All right, I'm going to give a sneak peek. I think we're interviewing someone this Sunday. I can't name them for sure because I think it's like 90% agreed. It'll be fun. But I'm already preparing for the following week, or if we don't have our guest this weekend, it's going to touch on briefly on the Law of Fives. And it's... Anyway, I'll leave it at that. Bruce will star in it. Which Bruce, you say? The answer is yes. That's probably obscure enough. But the Law of Fives link is no longer there. But I want to show you... The anchor is no longer there. But I want to show you what is there. The Law of Fives, I don't know why I stumbled across this almost 10 years ago. But it's from Discordianism. Which is like a form of, I guess, anarchy. I'm okay. Do you remember the frog, right? Keck? So I'm not 100% anti-chaos ever since Keck Pepe helped get our glorious disruptor in chief in the zone, right? With the meme war. But the Law of Fives is no longer here. It had been anchored here. So I found another article from the Streisand Effect department. Like, if you're going to hide it, I'm going to find it and make me more interested in it. Why'd you hide it? Why'd you take it away from that article in the last 9 years? 9.5, 10 years. So here's the Law of Fives. It's from the Eresian Mysteries, revealed to the good Lord Omar, one of the greatest, the hidden temple of the happy Jesus. The Law of Fives. What is the Law of Fives? All things happen in fives, or are divisible by, or are multiples of 5, or are somehow directly or indirectly appropriate to 5. The laws of fives is never wrong. This is done in farce. I'm keeping my eye out on this one. I don't know why I posted it 10 years ago. But time has a way of ending. That's just me delicately saying it's not going to go on forever. It hasn't gone on forever, right? It had a start. That's the Kalam cosmological argument. If some dude walks up to you and says, comes from the distance, and he's like 99, 98, he gets closer, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And he says to you, I just counted. I came from exactly infinite steps away. You going to believe that person? That's kind of a form of the Kalam cosmological argument for the existence of God. There can't be eternity in creation. It has to be outside of creation. I'm probably butchering the argument, but that's kind of how I try to remember it. Anyway, let's check the chat. They got John Mack pretty quick. I think he was getting closer to some truths. Red Pill, your doctor. Yes. Yes. Awesome. Love that. Love that conversation going on there. All right, let's go to June 3. I already read that one. Time as a way of ending. Let's go to June 4. Human barcode. They have to tell you. So here I am posting to the people on June 4. Wrong, Greg. So, G stands for Greg. Human Barcode Society organized. I mean, this. Even 10 years ago, this is the mark of the beast. It's not even a question. Would you barcode your baby? Microchip have become standard practice, but have been a tougher sell when it comes to putting them on people. I mean, this is not even like bad propaganda. Science fiction author, this is just the agenda. They're making it sound like they're kind of against it. I mean, I don't know. My point is anger, right? And that's what they want. They want anger. The clot shot. Wrong answer. Burn. You red pill. Whiskey Blue. That deserves some kind of a celebratory. I need just an applause, right? I just need something that's not related to. Yeah, that's a good to-do list for me because that would fit. All right, let me go to June 4. Is the background music really loud enough? I kind of feel like I need to turn it up a bit. I turned my headphones down a bit. That's probably part of it. Let me click on this. I don't remember the dealio. Hertz. Mr. Tralala. Okay. I'm not going to play the whole thing. Going to play another couple seconds. So I guess I posted that 10 years ago. And I'm like, thought it was cool back then. Apparently it's still used because I showed this to my 11-year-old and he's like, oh yeah, I've seen that. I'm sure it's used for memes and stuff. I'm going to play that one day for the Sunday night show late, just as a break maybe, because it's a little more weird and chill of a show, I guess. I don't know. I may never play it again. I may play the whole thing. We'll just have to find out. I don't know. It's not as rare as I had thought. My 11-year-old was like, yeah, Dad, come on. Obama budget defeated 99-0 in the Senate. This is one of those things where they float a budget. It doesn't originate from the White House, I don't think. Basic civics. It comes from the reps, House of Reps. Anyway, I just was on an anti-Obama tirade, just any chance I got that I could safely sort of without, I don't know. Like so many of my friends like Obama so much, like the people I know over the years. PJ Zwierink, good. Enjoy your nap. I drank a soda with caffeine in it. That's how I'm doing it. Go have a good night. Good night. I might grind just another kind of few bits. We'll see. I mean, it's all on replay, right? That's what I'm hoping. This is just to log it down, get past it, and start doing a Bible study. I don't think I'll do a 2.5-hour Bible study every Wednesday, but I want to go a little deep, right? I ask here, have we forgotten Fight Club so easily? I'm probably talking about the financial institutions, which got wrecked at the end of Fight Club, if you noticed. They did a reset, a great reset, or a something. I'm probably prattling on about that on June 11th. Let's go to July 9th. Skipping almost a month. See, sometimes we zoom through time. The Penguin. Okay. I don't know why I launched. Does this remind you of anyone? Does this look like anyone? You go to his older pictures. I think Resident is a time-traveling The Penguin. I really do sometimes think that. They look extremely... I think The Penguin is Corn Pop. Let's just put it that way. That's Corn Pop. That's Corn Pop right there. I think I've proved it. The Adventures of Corn Pop, the Penguin. LIBOR. LIBOR tinkering was no secret on Wall Street. They have to tell you. So let me explain. That's it. It's like an open way of them just breaking all their own rules. If you read the article, let me put this article in the chat. I keep kind of forgetting to do that. That is probably something I should do. Just so you have it. I've got Trololo stuck in my head. Let's go to July 30. Halfway through 2012. We're jamming. CS News. Oregon man sentenced 30 days in jail collecting rainwater on his property. You know, I mean, that's... Whether it's true or not, that's ridiculous. Just to float as a news story, it probably is true. But they probably wanted to make us angry. I mean... Ugh. Anyway. I told my 500 Facebook friends, I don't know how many of them saw it, because I was probably already shadow banned, who knows. Fluoride lowers IQ in kids, the new study shows. Duh. But at least I'm sharing 10 years ago with the people, right? You really think industrial waste could harm my baby? On July 31st, I told everyone, I'm helping you through your objections to Atkins. I think a lot of us have found keto, caveman, paleo, Atkins, low carb. You know, obviously, I'm not a nutritionist, consult your doctor, and then ignore your doctor. But Atkins worked really well for me, changed my life around. Like, it was maybe not a life changer. That's Zaiden's altar, Corn Pop. Yeah, I know. But I think he looks a lot like the Penguin. Obama is the most corrupt president in history, says Whiskey Blue. He makes Nixon look like an altar boy. I agree. Do you guys remember the Nixon nod to Trump that's told? The little baton passing? How evil was Nixon? I mean, you can make an argument. How evil is Trump? Do you do that every now and then? Like, January 20th, I was depressed. I was kind of like, really January 6th through 20th, I was like, and I'm like, pardon me for that yawn. I'm like, what? And then, you know, I hold up like we all did. I don't know, weeks, months, 1 or 2 months later, started coming out of my cave, testing the waters with my pretty awake siblings and father. And mom's passed. I don't know how awake she would be. I think she might be pretty awake. She's obviously now as awake as you need to be, right? But anyway, it's now been, a year almost. A year. And my dad and a little bit my brothers are starting to kind of like, yeah. So, you know, so then you have to go, well, but remember, Trump could be pure evil and in on it. It's got to be, you got to model it, right? You have to test it as a possibility. He could be the Pied Piper. this could be a kayfabe in wrestling terms. You have to check it, right? All right. Researcher finds shot. Oh. So remember, I've been covering 12 years of Facebook posts, and an alarming amount of them are about today's type of news. Here's an example from 10 years ago. Oh, okay. So the headline is no longer accurate. No. But trust me, this really was the article. I could probably find it. I didn't realize. Vancouver researcher finds shot linked H1. Oh no, I have a real article. That's a dead link, but I found this. I'm doing sound effects. I need to make some sound effects. Studies link H1N1 to seasonal flu shots. Boom. They've been doing it to us for 10 years. But they'll never admit it. No, you're just a crazy conspiracy theorist. Anyway. Let's check our lurkerage. Looking pretty good. I feel compelled. I feel like, since I don't have a deadline other than sanity and multiple vice presidents, including my boss tomorrow, wanting me to perform, other than that, if y'all are here, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Plus, the more we get through, the quicker we can get to the Bible study in a month or two. Well, probably 2 to 3 months. All right, now I'm on September 18th, 2012. Activists troubled by White House call to YouTube. Were they pretending that big tech wasn't? So, civil liberties groups are mad that the White House is getting in the face of YouTube. It's Politico. I can't remember if they're libertarian or not. Good for them for... Ew, do you see that gross mosquito? I didn't mean to show that. Ew. So, in that article, it's old. I'm not going to link it. I mean, I could, but prominent civil liberties groups express concern. Oh, I read that part already. All right, cool. Anyway, you got the deal. So here we have another dead link, probably just because of time, but the headline itself is reading, "No prank Halloween, U.S. military forces train zombie." Right. Then the pandemic, the so-called pandemic. 10 years later, just saying. We know how they do. Obama mural greets voters at Philadelphia polling site. I think that's a dead link. But, you know what I'm saying? That's just like Zuckerbucks now, right? Well, not just like, it's a tame version of it compared to Zuckerbucks. Suckabucks. On November 8th, I said, Atlas really can't effectively shrug, no matter how much it might be desired. If you game it out, it just doesn't last or have any meaningful effect. Here's what my point was, I'm sure, because I still think the same way now. 9.5 years later. I've never read the book, but everything I read about Ayn Rand makes me think I would love and not love her. But you do a start over where you separate the chodes, the cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers, from the non, right? The awake from the non-awake, the sleepers. You're just going to get right back where you were. Like, how it can't have a meaningful, lasting effect. I'm not trying to be black-pilled. I'm saying, look at what the White Hats and the team are doing, if they're actually doing what we hope and think they're doing. They're bringing the normies along for minimal civilian casualties. That's not an Ayn Rand Atlas Shrugged things. I think the Anon, and this is being broadcast to YouTube and DLive, so I'll be circumspect. I think they like the normies. They don't want to separate from them. And I get it, right? They're all image bearers of God, right? Like, we can't... Noah didn't let everybody on the ark, but that was a different age. I wanted to make a terrible joke here. Huffington Post, Hillary Clinton Benghazi testimony. Let me read you the headline. Hillary Clinton Benghazi testimony postponed after Secretary of State sustains concussion. First of all, that thing can get thrown backwards into a limo folded in half, and it's not going to get a concussion. They already demonstrated that. But You know my comments on this story, right? I'm sure you can type them in the chat, and I'll try to think. Let me read the chat while you type what you think my summary of that article is. Totally would look like Penguin, Whiskey Blue. Tesla's talking to Whiskey Blue. Yep, the psychos, and Obama feels the movie to discuss now. Amen. Amen. I'm saying that in front of some pretty. Oh, I mean, I don't know. It's late night, but you'll see it on a replay if you're on my. Anyway, my point about this article is at this point, what difference does it make? I couldn't help it. I know. It's bad. It's a bad joke. It's not even that good, but had to do it. We're getting almost to the tail end of 2012. Let's see what this YouTube was. I thought it was important the other day, so let's see.
They did walk a guy out of the...
Oh, gold mine. Gold mine, guys. Okay, we have to do this carefully. This video is being broadcast on YouTube and Facebook and DLive and the Foxhole.app. See if I give myself guidance on how to cover this. Hillary. Whiskey Blue says Hillary needs to swing at high noon. This is Newtown, Connecticut school. This is Captain Hook, you might call it, right? Rhymes with handy. And the headline is police walked a man in camo pants and dark jacket out of the woods. So let me see if I can do it this way. I do not want to give any excuse. I'm going to put this link in the chat, in the Foxhole chat. I'll try to remember to put it later in the YouTube description and all that stuff. Oh, Bummer 2, yes. If it's really happening the way we think, Tesla Dove, it is amazing, so epic. We're manifesting it that way, right? We're confirming reality. And I confirm that reality. Yes, that would be fantastic. It will be fantastic. I'm with you. But I mean, I also get nervous. I'm with you, and then I'm like nervous, and then I'm like, oh, am I really with Tesla Dove on that? But yeah, of course I am. All right, let's see. This video, how can we do this? Okay.
They did.
Muted. They did walk a guy out of the woods. I saw him walk earlier. We're here in cuffs. Ignored. He walked by and said he didn't do it. He was a grown man. Yeah, he's sitting in the front of the police car over there. He didn't mean to have no gun or watching handcuffs. So, on a lot of these events that are of this type, my YouTube and my Facebook friends, you'll see, and they're getting better at hiding this, but you'll see nobody knows what to control back 10 years ago. And this guy's like, there was dude. Then there's other people that reported multiple dudes. There's a controller. There's a FBI guy. There's a clowny. There's a something, right? You would believe it in a Hollywood movie. So why wouldn't you believe it in? I don't know. I posted it then. I'm referencing it now. I'm gonna leave it at that. I want to go further, but I dare not. Direct message me if you're from Facebook or if you're watching from Facebook or YouTube. All right, I'm going to do like a 10-minute segment on this on Sunday night one night. Fauci is the science, right? Well, so am I. Here's one of the posters I posted. Here's one of my science posters. I did imaging at Columbia and presented my findings at worldwide symposia and in various instrumentation papers. You know, lots of science, lots of data. This is more the poster format, something you do at talks and whatnot. Here's the other poster. I like them both, but I'll go into a little bit of detail at some point. We were shooting single photons at subcellular, subnuclear components of single biocells to test the effects of the radiation and to look at the repair mechanisms. We would do cells in culture. We would do live mice model, ears with windows and stuff like that. We did have the sacrificial floor. I called it the killing floor. Our safety officer didn't like that. He thought that might not sound right if funding people were walking by. I'm like, hey, just call it what it is. The killing floor, where you kill the poor little mice when you were done with them. I never had to deal with that myself directly, but it sometimes happened around me. Why did I link this? Oh, I'm going to play this. Let me mute the... So I had never played a banjo with banjo tuning at this time. My brother had my brother-in-law had refurbished one. So let me zoom in a little. My drummer would play Stairway to Heaven for us as a late night kind of gag thing, but he didn't really enjoy it per se, so I had to send this to him.
Nachi, I'm in Texas with my brother-in-law's banjo, and we've noticed they tune differently than guitar. So you need this, so in case you need to learn how to play this on banjo. Just watch carefully.
I'm kind of giving him that Cartman look at the end there. Anyway, that was too funny to pass up. In my not so humble opinion. Let's go to January 2. So we're in 2013. We're now 9 years ago. EPA's illegal human experience could break Nuremberg. Right? Seniors, children, and the sick. I don't know what are they doing here? I don't want to deep dive into it, but the headline was eye-catching to me. They're making it sound like Obama's trying to fix it. Okay, so Whiskey Blue, you're right. I'm definitely getting booted, right? I know, but I kind of wanted to. I didn't want to. I know it could happen. Where we go one, we go all is really going to be all except the 4 to 6%. That's right. That's what we were told. And I think so. We're manifesting. Hillary is diabolical. I feel they're both dead already. It does kind of seem possible. Whiskey Blue, I love your comment. By the way, thanks for those, Tesla Dub. And Whiskey Blue says, you're so getting booted out of Book and Screw Tube. Just saying. I know, and I hate censoring myself, and so I'm broadcasting to them, and so it's like I could do like 412 does and undo, but let me get some strikes first, and then maybe I'll start just only broadcasting the first 10 minutes. Clone persona eradicated. Whoa, interesting. That is your day job. Did I mention a day job? What did I? Oh, that was for 3 years. Yes, that was my Tesla Dev master's in physics. Worked a little bit at university, like taught and stuff like that. Didn't really do much with it until at Columbia University, and then I worked 3 years using the physics as part of the imaging and the microscope control and stuff like that. And mostly I did like instrumentation and computer programming. I started as a computer programmer there, but they started using me for the little bit of the research to make good on my not PhD, but at least some degree of education. So yeah, that was my day job for 3 years. I have other day jobs that I'll just slowly drop over time that you're going to be like, wait, what? Maybe on next Sunday I'll have to mention one of them when I mention the story of the Bruces. EPA's illegal human. I mean, I'll become public enemy pretty high level if I... everyone's got their story, right? Let's go to January 15th. Gregory Glenn Williams patriotic group build armed defensible neighborhood fortress. I don't remember this. Armed defensible neighborhood fortresses. That sounds kind of... what's the word? Militia-ish or something? 9 years ago. Interesting. Let's go to January 21. E-Bombs World. Let's see what's going on there. How to stop mass shootings. Oh, This guy's awesome. I don't want to play it, but I want to give you the link, because this guy is just amazing. You remember him? All right, Tesla Dove. Just in case you're not around, I was the first webmaster for Batman.com and Superman.com. I think I mentioned that the other day on maybe the Late Sunday Show at MadMagazine.com. That's just one example of. It was an 8-year run, a 7.5-year run at Time Warner. Pretty cool job. I was basically the alternate media dude from 94 to 01 for DC Comics, for Superman and Batman and those. All right, there it's out. It was fun. I'm not gonna lie. Cutthroat, hard work. Just as another point, but very, very worth having spent the time. There's more. I have other jobs that you're gonna be like, wait, what? Can't tell you my current job. That would get me fired instantly. I kind of showed earlier, I used to work for the State Department as a freelance musician touring the Middle East for a couple years. Didn't make a lot of money doing that, but that was like, we would go like 2 weeks at a time, take a few months off, go 3 weeks, take a few months off. We were the sort of on deck, play rock and roll people. That's probably it for the cool jobs. Not going to complain. If my friend Brian's listening, the time at your place was absolutely rocking. But I'm a little political on this show, so I'll leave you out of it. Constitution. Nor is it so strange as perhaps before. This is from, what is this? All right, let me summarize this. Where did I put my notes? Let me just read the whole thing. It's John Locke on the civil government. He's basically saying that labor is a huge part of the value in a thing, right? I'll just leave it at that. You can see it there. Tesla Dove. Yeah, you might have been here earlier when I showed my limited, yes, Whiskey Blue. Let me tell you the story of how I got the job. Or not how I got the job. There was a person, there was one of two people that worked in HR there, because most of the HR was out of California. But they had a satellite office. And so two people in New York would have handled any hiring at DC Comics. Well, one of the two left and was replaced with someone else named Ann. Ann Quasarano. I'll go ahead and say, I shouldn't have done that. But Ann Q, let's call her. Let's call her Ms. Q. So this person, who I won't name, I shouldn't have named any of them, just changes industries and moves across country from New York to Texas and just gets a new job. And he might have told us where he worked, but I didn't remember. So I was interviewing for the job at DC, and I was like kind of young, and I was like, And I was talking to this guy just for fun. I used to go in and see how he was doing on his medication. He was on a regime of pretty tough medication. Just want to see how he's doing. And I was like, I probably shouldn't tell you this since you're the HR director here where I'm working, but I'm interviewing for another place. And he's like, really? Tell me more. And I'm like, yeah, well, you probably don't even know who they are. DC Comics, if you're into comics. It's part of Warner Brothers. He's like, are you talking to Ms. Q? He named her by name, every last syllable. It's a very rare name. And I'm like, he's like, just go back to your office. I'll be right there. So he comes back and he's like, I won't say who, and it would be awkward for you to ask. Don't try to find out. But I made sure your resume went to the right desk. Not guaranteeing anything. Just, if you get the job, you owe me a steak dinner. And I started thinking about that years later. What are the odds that somebody would go from there to there and be one of two people that may have seen my resume, and I had independently cold sent my resume for no reason to DC. Well, there's a reason I sent it. I'll tell you that later. And it got held onto for 6 months before they called me back. So I thought that was a pretty high level of coincidence. I tried to calculate it. It was in the like 1 in a million department from what I could tell. Anyway, that's the DC story. Let's check the chat. Yeah. So Whiskey Blue, I was gross. And a couple people were like, G. Ross. Oh, and then when somebody as high up as 412 says, oh, you should call yourself G_Ross. And then when you get lots of public help about how to do it, and it means talking to the cult leader, and you get it done, And was it you, Whiskey Blue? Some people said, don't change your name for no one, not even 412. And I'm like, I know a wrestling rub when I see it, right? So I took it, right? And also it gave me my tagline. You'll hear it at the end of the show tonight. You are the underscore. I used to say I am the underscore, but now I changed it to you are the underscore. Underground comics are fun. Yeah, Tesla Dove. Comic books, when you read a good comic book, you're internalizing the art way more than watching the best cartoon or the best of live action, in my opinion. You know, the way everybody reads them a little different. Well, there's a few different ways to read them, and I read a kind of odd way that most people don't. From what comic book nerds talk to each other about all kinds of stuff about how they. Oh, Whiskey Blue, you got some good stuff there. I don't have stuff that old. I have my uncle's old stuff that's that old, but it's all beat up. But yes, Tesla Dove, how synchronistic. So the way I read comic books is I read the word bubble, and I let my eyes kind of pull in. Oh, thank you, Tesla Dove, about the tagline. I let my eyes kind of pull in the art peripherally. So you spend just enough time on the word bubble that the art just seeps in, and so I read it like a book kind of, but I pull in the art, and by the time I'm done, I'm ready to turn the page, and you see the layout of both pages, and you're like, yeah, I got it. You feel like you live through the story if it's well designed, if the letterer is good and puts the word balloons really well, if the inker is good, if everybody's good, it turns into good stuff. Yeah, you live in them. Let me toss a couple more out here. Valor knows no gender. Pentagon lifts ban on women in combat. I'm not anti that. You know, I kind of can see some logic, but I kind of am a little anti that. What are you going to do? Does anybody remember? Okay, so then on February 8th, 9 years ago, I clicked on, the link is kind of malformed, so let me get it from here. I sent this up. I'm not going to play it, but do you remember this? Ben Carson hitting the scene. Look at Obama's face. He's like, I can't wait to have this guy greased. Well, it hasn't happened yet. Probably won't. Ben Carson is an interesting dude. I don't know that we know the half of it, right? Cheeseburger. Let's see what this is. A flask. Oh. If I posted a Kraken picture 9 years ago, I have to put it here, right? This will be our picture for when we release the scratching. Go slow, just advise. So much better. You mean on the comic book reading Subpack Vet or something else? Yeah. I should watch the chat better. I only have one monitor, so it becomes kind of bleaky. And I really need to get some real glasses. These are $4 readers from Walgreens. Sequential art. Did you ever read sequential art by, comics and sequential art by, this is worth looking for right here. If you've never, sequential, I think it's called, Scott McCloud, maybe? Why do I? Understand Comics. The first one. You definitely want Understanding Comics by Scott McCloud if you don't have it. I may have an extra copy. I think I might have 2 copies. I can't get rid of my final copy, but private message me if you can't find it. It looked like it might even be available for PDF. Sequential art, yes. So the classic way that people describe it is you show the picture of the axe up, and in the next picture the axe, is down or whatever, and your brain creates the action for you. It's so much about the human mind, the way comic books work. Let me go over to, here. Judge throws New York City ban large sugary drinks, blah. You know, do you remember that when Bloomberg said, you can't drink a 64-ounce drink? What a doofus. Scott McCloud, yeah. Just looking at the chat. In its delayed grandeur. Which I think that's all streaming. Has a bit of a delay. That's not the Foxhole. Teachers shocked, frightened after school holds unplanned shooting drill. Their playbook is so obvious once you see it. That was 9 years ago that I posted that. Here's Wired, Immigration Reform Dossiers, May 13, 2013. I think this is, it's biometric database of all adult Americans hidden in immigration reform. They got to sneak it in, right? Yeah, we're gonna help you keep your country intact by paying attention to immigration. And then buried in the fine print is we're going to track every one of you natural citizens. It is time travel. Oh yeah, comic books. You know, even movies with fast forward and reverse, especially when you've got a computer and you can non-linearly scrub the YouTube. That's a little bit of time travel, right? A friend of mine, TH, has always pointed that out to me, or often. Oh. Here's when I told Facebook that I was getting baptized. Now, I have kind of two thoughts on this. When you get that urge to get baptized, you should run down to the river and have a brother or a sister. I guess a brother. I got to be careful. I'm a lay teaching elder at a church. I think it'd have to be a brother. But anyway, you should run down to that river. But in today's times, we had waited until we had access to a hot tub. Anyway, that was around May of 2013 that happened. Way after I converted, but I had been sprinkled as a Methodist, so I kind of never really thought. And then I suddenly got the bug and did it one time for real. Moto X Motorola reveals plans. Ink pills replace all passwords. What? This is 9 years ago. High-tech tattoo that could replace all your passwords. Oh, yeah, that can't be the mark of the beast. I mean, you're such a crazy conspiracy theory to even think. Oh, and what I posted on Facebook, I was kind of proud of this. I said, this technology has been predicted thousands of years ago. Ooh, can I open up the crazy Tartaria mud flood style thing? I'm not sure that the New Testament was written 2,000 years ago. Maybe 1,000. Just saying. If you ever looked into that. Not about the timing of the Bible, but the fact that they, around the year 500, added an I in front of the 1500 and then turned it into 1500. And so we got our calendars all mangled. Who knows? It's something I saw and didn't forget. Not we foxhole rude, just narrative. So sorry, got nothing. I don't. These psychos. I agree, Tesla now. See, next up is... We really are almost at the end of what I prepped for tonight. Didn't need to use it all, but it's gonna great at this point. Ranbaxy? Let's see what this was. Oh, it can't be found. Let me see if I took some notes. It's a dead link, so let me give you a similar link. Or let's put in a similar link to what the original post was about. The latest to claim fraud at generic Lipitor maker Ranbaxy, its owners. Millions of pills, Lipitor, right? They were pushing this. Glass particles discovered in some of them? Eek. Icky. Innocent mistake. CR8 IV writer. Right, so you're kind of onto this. We're missing 1,000 years from the timeline. That one, I've occasionally seen a couple of bits that make me go, well, that would be a little hard to explain. But basically, that one slots right in, right? I go pretty strong on that one. I bet kind of long on that. I'm 80-20 in favor. BrainPod showed an interesting bit that seemed to indicate 1,000-year difference. Don't remember the details. Tesla Dove. I did not know that. Excellent. Love BrainPod's channel. So much good stuff. All right, June 6th. Let's see what we got. I'm going to have to rotate some more music in, right? I actually have plans to take some of my old original songs and muzak them. But that takes a little bit of work with the day job and all that, so. NSA's Verizon spying order specifically targeted Americans, not foreigners. They have to tell you. Is this the news trying to help us, or is this they have to tell you? Well, we all slept through it, or at least the sheeple did. Not enough of us were awake, but, you know, I mean, I'm not complaining, but I'm complaining a little. Did I take any notes on that one? No. All right, we're going to go to June 6th on 2013. Department of Homeland Security laptops, phones can be searched based on hunches. That's no longer the live link, which is legit. I mean, I don't expect them to keep it forever. Let's see if I wrote anything down. Just the headline. So don't need rule of law or what's the word? The Fourth Amendment, the right to reasonable search and seizure or whatever it is. Like you just that's a hunch. It's Homeland Security, right? We can do whatever we need to secure America. F yeah. Global partners agree on sharing trove of genetic data. So this is 9 years ago, or at least when I posted it was. Oh yeah, I apologize. I'm so not good at, here, let's refresh and escape. Well, anyway, you get the idea. The Accord aims to create trove of genetic data from global partners. The globalists. Ankavanka, hello, how are you? BrainPod, yeah, I will definitely check the BrainPod replay. Tesla Dove, I went through a period of writing songs for a couple years. At first they were crap. They were absolute crap. And then I got to the point where I wrote about 6 decent ones. And those are the ones that I might muzak eyes. And there's one, Ankavanka, I should tell you this. There's one that I actually got together with one of my bands, and they let me record it with them, and so it's pretty good. And I turned off the Hey Nova X. I when it ran it through a karaokeizer. So after I've dropped about 3 or 4 of my favorite karaoke songs, I might just toss that one in the mix. It's about wrestling. Nova X. We're gonna have to see if Rodrigo is done and can swing by. I don't know how far away he lives. Ankavanka, doing well. How about you? And I see you're fab. Yes, yeah. I was reading it twice. Reading it again. It's getting late. Tesla Dove touring. Yes. Wrote about 10 or 15. Don't like about half of them, and I'm sure about 3 or 4 have caught people's attention, and then I sort of paused. But it could always happen again. What 1,000 years? Nova X. Let me scroll up. A couple of people, including myself, are kind of on to this thing. And Tesla Dev said that BrainPod might have mentioned it. Who was it earlier in the chat? There may be 1,000 years just missing in the timeline. This may be the year 1022, not 22. There's a little rabbit hole about that. Trudeau is 40% stockholder in Aquavera, the MS. Producer of the nanotech and the clot shots. I don't know if I remember hearing that. Oh yeah, Ankavanka, these lyrics. Once I do it, I'll publish the lyrics or I'll put them out. Ankavanka, for our duet. What if we do a song that's not originally a duet, but we turn it into one? I'm really into this weird Crystal Gale space traveling song lately. I'm going to probably play it one of these Sundays coming up. I'll send you a link to that if I remember. It's really late right now, so I may kind of, not remember. But that's kind of maybe an idea. All right, let me go to June 8. See what YouTube has to offer us on June 8. Oh, this is absolutely hilarious. I think it's short enough to play the whole thing.
Yeah, I learned to talk to gorillas when I worked for GE Medical. We are going to test poisons on you.
I got a big kick out of that one. My kiddo loved that, the 11-year-old. Uh-oh. We got a can. TikToks. You get to see the can animation. I got to get smoother at this. Here we go. Can. Did I do it right? Here we go. Thank you for that can, TikToks. It's not missing. Oh, Nova, so you're kind of thinking it's not missing, or is it shifted? Yeah, we got a jam. So you know what? It's like, yes, no problem. Let's give it a spin. Yeah. A bass solo. Nova X. Fellow bassist? Nice. Love it. All right. Yeah, what was next? That was it. That was literally it. That's everything for the Facebook look back. So what did we end on? We ended on June 9th, 2013. And I'm going to plow through the rest of these. I'll try to go as fast as I can. You know, it's just that when something catches my interest, I'm like, I got to share it. And then remember, season 2, once this is done, turns into a Bible study. And TikToks, I wanted to come over to your channel, but I got on this roll. And I will visit you. You know me. I come over there as often as I can. One of the best channels in the house. There's so many good channels on. Did you like that? So many good channels on the Foxhole. You know, I was a lurker here for like 8-10 months before I finally started popping out, calling people, chatting. I was like, why didn't I do this before? Anyway, I've got a alarm in 5 hours. And I've got to present a little bit to a couple of VPs and stuff. So I'm going to roll the outro. I hate to do it. I mean, this is the Night Owl crew. Not to call you a bunch of Illuminati. You know, I didn't mean it in that sense, the owls. I just meant, you know, this is the cool people. But let me bite that bullet. Does anybody know my pain? Like, I don't like pulling that in the show trigger. Does it ever become easier, TikToks? It's like, here it goes. Right? Anyway, I'm going to hit that. Oh. Except I almost broke the rule. Definitely should check out BrainPod's stream from today. Very relevant. Me 1,000 years. Vid showed a stone plaque, aka proof. Right? Can't explain missing 1,000 in chat. Nova X. You know, Nova X, we do sometimes look for guest shows on our late Sunday night show. Or guest, stars on our late Sunday night show. So just saying. Not to put you on the spot there. I probably just put you on the spot. Probably that was uncool of me to do. Let me release the scratching because we're at what for this channel is considered scratching worthy, right? And we love it. I mean, it's we're not doing any kind of currently in life. There's not a monitor drive or a laptop drive or a microphone drive, but you never know. And so and these go out to the other channels pretty much at this point too. So much appreciated. So the scratching has been released, and I'll play the 2.5-minute outro. And I'll catch you all over at, as I'm tearing down. So I set up and tear down this studio every single time because of reasons. So I'll either be at Patriot News, Red Pill Project, Quite Frankly TV, or PSB. Those are the ones that'll look like they'll be live after this. So I'm going to hit the play button. The sad play button of the outro. Got to pause that. Got to start that. See you on Friday with Angular. Well, the outro talks about all that. Thank you for spending time with us. We're joined on Fridays by co-host Angular. This has been G. Ross, and you are the underscore. Be sure to catch us on the foxhole.app, DLive, YouTube, or Facebook. Current shows include The Bread Pill Weekly. You've been red pilled, now be the red pill. You're out of the oven and ready for delivery on our weekly alternative news roundup and call-in show on Foxhole, D-Live, YouTube, and Facebook every Friday at 5:30 p.m. Central, co-hosted by G. Ross and Angular. Current shows include Epistemology for Fun and Profit, where woo meets goo. You're in the woo, and the woo is in you. A philosophical call-in show with occasional guest interviews, diving into the oldest questions. Most episodes are exclusively on the Foxhole.app, Sunday at 11:30 p.m. Central. Current shows include 9dNation, the nation with no denomination. Declare to the custom agents any edible plants or miscellaneous worldviews. We take a look back at how we got here, eventually leading into a regular Wednesday night Bible study at 11 p.m. Central. Catch us on the Foxhole.app, D-Live, YouTube, and Facebook. Our Friday co-host is Angular. This has been G. Ross, and you are the underscore.